studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Of course, everything works off that fastball. Curveball he can throw for a strike, changeup that he wants to swing and a miss.
Here he comes in game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field. Call to the track. It's down on the first pitch of game 5. Junior hooks the ball down the left field line. They've got back to start game 5. 1, 2 to 3. There's a dozen for Trey Savage. And the Blue Jays are headed home, one win from a championship.
Slammed out. And away come the Jackets with some numbers here. Odd man rush. Werenski shoots. He scores! Zach Werenski!
No fouls to give from Minnesota. Into the hands of Reeves. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Reeves splits the defense. The floater in the paint. It's good! At the buzzer! Austin Reeves does it again!
Little drama last night in the NBA. Little drama in the World Series. No drama with the Cavs and Celtics. And we welcome you into the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Have you built your ark yet? Do you have your paddles? Holy Mother Teresa, we're going to get like 5 inches of rain before this system gets out of here. If you're out and about, please be careful. Be careful with the standing water, flooding. I'm sure there's flooding all over the place. So be careful if you are out and about today, because this is not supposed to stop until around 2 or 3 this morning. So, wow, what a weather system we've got. A lot of rain, a lot of gloom. We've got a great show planned for you today here on AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. We welcome you in to the 3-Question Thursday edition of the program. Lots to get to today. World Series is going back to Canada. The Blue Jays. That's right, the Blue Jays with a 3-2 lead as they knocked the Dodgers out last night at Chavez Ravine. Game 6 at the Rogers Center coming up tomorrow night, a little bit after 8 o'clock. Toronto was 1 win away from winning the World Series. How about that? Cavaliers fell flat on their faces last night in Boston. 125-105. Really, honestly, there is not a lot to break down after that bleep poor performance last night. We will hear from head coach coming up here in a little bit, Kenny Atkinson. He'll try to explain exactly what did happen last night on the parquet floor at the TD Garden. That was brutal. I didn't watch much because I was watching the World Series, but the Cavs did not look good last night at all. Too early to panic? Of course it is. Of course it is. We've only played 5 games, and they're 3-2. But, gee whiz, not a lot of positive effort last night. And Jared Allen, man, the invisible man again last night. University of Mount Union getting ready for Capital this Saturday, 1:30 at Karis Stadium. By the way, we'll have the game for you right here on AM 1310 WDPN. We're going to talk with head football coach Geoff Dartt today at 3:35. Our sports handicapper, Ross Benjamin from WagerTalk.com, will be here at 4:35. He'll handicap the big college and pro football games coming up this weekend. There's some college football news as far as coaches today. Kent State has their guy. No more interim tag for the new coach of the Golden Flashes. We'll tell you about that. Matt Rule got a 2-year contract extension to stay at Nebraska. It looks like he will not be going to Penn State. we could have a high school football coaching opening in the area. I cannot officially 100,000% confirm, but I've got a pretty good idea. As soon as I get the go on that, we'll let you know. Also, on this day in sports history, and of course, it's a Thursday. What does that mean? It's time for another edition of the 3-question Thursday quiz. Let's get right to it. Question number 1. Should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Remember back in February during the Super Bowl, Myles went on that long tour of get me out of here. I want traded. I don't want to play here anymore. Looking back, of course, I wanted to trade him then. Should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Question number 2, for you foodies out there. If you could only pick one fast food place for the rest of your life, who would it be? I'm giving you one shot here. One fast food place for the rest of your life. Which one would you pick? And question number 3, a little fun one going along with the Halloween. What's your favorite Halloween candy? That's your 3-question Thursday quiz today here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Drop your comments on my Facebook page, my show page, the Dropbox comment section on the Q92 radio page on YouTube, and of course the 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages as well. 3-question Thursday quiz. Number 1, should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Number 2, if you had only one fast food place to pick from for the rest of your life, where would it be? And question number 3, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Make sure you get those comments in, and we'll read them on the air throughout the show here on WDPN. Also, you can text your answers in, too, right there at the bottom of your screen. See that? 330-924-7088. How about our background today? Looks like we got some lampposts and some Halloween-colored fall leaves, maybe a haunted house in the background there.
There's definitely a haunted house back there, but you can't see it.
Looking good. I wish I would have wore, I don't have any, I really don't. I don't have any, orange clothing.
No, I wore a red shirt. That's about as close as I get.
Maybe I'll I usually wear station gear on Friday. I usually wear my DPN polo. I've got a maroon cranberry color one in a navy blue. Maybe I'll wear. I have some Browns clothing, like orange stuff. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because it's Halloween.
The aesthetic tomorrow is going to be all over the place anyway because we got football and Halloween.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll fire up a little orange tomorrow. Why not? I'm a big Halloween guy. I might do that. All right. Also on the show today, we will. I've got a couple ideas I want to run by you about where we are with daylight savings time. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But don't forget to set your clocks back. What's the actual, what is it, 2 a.m. Saturday is when or 2 a.m. Sunday, I guess, is when you're supposed to turn your clocks back. So that's coming up.
I think my generation, at least I've never actually paid attention to that because my phone's attached to the internet, and so I just go off of that. So I know if I wake up in the morning and my car clock's wrong, I understand that. Oh, okay, that happened. Good to know.
Yeah, that's true. We really don't have to. I can't remember the last time we actually physically or manually turned a clock back.
Yeah, I know.
Because the microwave will do it. No, the microwave will not do it on its own. So that's one. And we have a clock on the range. That one doesn't go by itself. Now our Alexa will. What else? Does the cars?
My car
does not. I've got to do it by myself. My phone will do it, obviously. But don't forget if you still got to open up the old grandfather clock and get your finger in there. Put those hands where they need to be. Make sure you do that by 2 a.m. Saturday into Sunday morning. Maybe pick it up an extra hour's sleep, but holy cannoli, is it going to be dark early this weekend, especially with the rain and the clouds and everything? My God.
Yeah, I think with that, it's just going to be dark all weekend, day or night.
I hate it. I hate it. I'm hoping the trick-or-treaters tomorrow have a little bit of clearing by the time they go out. I know the wind is going to pick up. I'm a little worried about some of our Halloween stuff that's up in the yard.
Oh yeah,
like our animatronics. Those things aren't really built to withstand 30 to 35 mile an hour winds. And we got like 7 or 8 of them up. Plus we got some inflatables and all the lights and everything. It's amazing when we put all that stuff up. We put it up really early this year, which I loved because we got more time to enjoy it. But we put it up in, let's see, September. I think it was it might have been early September. Maybe like week 2 or week 3 of September. And it's been up all this time. Now, we love it. I mean, I just enjoy the heck out of it. And but yeah, I hope that stuff can hold up because the rain and wind is going to make things very troublesome coming up here for the next 24 to 36 hours. All right, so the World Series last night. Not a lot of drama last night. Not a lot of drama. I mean, right off the rip, boom, home run. Vladdy comes up, boom, home run. So it's 2-0. And Blake Snell, he just looked shell-shocked out there. And the Blue Jays just kind of pounded away. They got 2 quick runs in the first inning. Got one here, got one there, got one here, got one there. Dodgers were never in that game last night. They were never in it. 6-1 was the final score. And I'm going to tell you what, that young fella on the mound for Toronto last night, you savage, he was a savage. He's only 22 years old. He had the Los Angeles Dodgers absolutely eating out of his hand last night. That was one of the more dominating performances I have ever seen in a World Series game. I mean, you're talking about, look, you know how good that Dodger lineup is. I mean, it's murderer's row every time you go out to play. And they could get nothing going last night. Ohtani, Freeman, Muncy, Betts, the catcher whose name is escaping me right now. I mean, they couldn't do anything last night. They only had 4 hits. Trey Savage gave up 4 hits, 1 run. 7 innings, he struck out 12, and guess what? He didn't walk anybody. Now, Blake Snell, he did not have a good night. 6 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned, struck out 7, but he walked 4. He gave up those 2 gopher balls to Schneider and Vladdy in the first inning. And then you had, Toronto's got some guys that can smoke the ball, right? Vladdy, Bichette, but they also got some guys that just kind of spray the ball. You know, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Ernie Clement, those guys, they just kind of spray the ball around a little bit. Barger's got some pop. Obviously, Bo Bichette's got some pop. I mean, they can hit the long ball. Don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you, man, the experts thought the Dodgers were just going to run away with this thing. They thought a lot of people thought sweep. And those that said no, sweep, but it'll definitely be 4-1. I wasn't buying it. And yeah, I'm rooting for the Blue Jays, and I have been since the World Series started. This is the matchup that I kind of wanted once the Guardians were out. But I am not surprised that the World Series is where it's at right now. I'm not one bit surprised at all that Toronto's got a chance to put this baby away tomorrow night. Selfishly, I'm hoping I know. Hey, I thought you wanted the Blue Jays to win. I do. But I'm hoping the Dodgers win tomorrow night because I won't be able to watch any of the game. I'll be out doing high school football tomorrow night, and by the time I am done wrapping up, packing up, posting on social media, it's going to be 11:30. And that game, unless it goes 19 innings, I'm not going to be able to watch any of it. So selfishly, I'm hoping the Dodgers win tomorrow so we can all enjoy a Game 7 coming up on Saturday night. Now, the odds would tell you the Dodgers maybe have the advantage tomorrow night. Yamamoto is on the hill for L.A. Kevin Gausman is pitching for Toronto. By the way, the Dodgers are minus 140 on the money line. The total is 7.5. Yamamoto's got an ERA of 1.57. He has almost been unhittable. The Gausman's been pretty good, too. ERA of 2.55. 18 Ks, 8 walks in the postseason. Yamamoto, 26 strikeouts, 4 walks. And George Springer might be able to play tomorrow night. They gave him a little at bat last night just to see how he could swing, the torque, the power, how he was, the oblique, how he was feeling. I will tell you this, if George Springer doesn't play tomorrow or doesn't play the full game tomorrow, he'll be out there for Game 7. Trust me on that. But this has been a fun World Series. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've really had a good time watching. So, but no baseball tonight. No baseball tonight. Travel day as they're heading up to Canada. They'll get ready for Game 7 coming up tomorrow. All right. Not going to spend a ton of time with the Cavs. Again, we will hear from Coach Kenny coming up here at some point this afternoon, earlier than later. But they stunk the joint out last night. 125-105 was the final score in Boston. Cavs scored 42 in the first quarter. The only problem is they gave up 40. And then Boston outscored them 35-18 in the second quarter, and that was it. Game was over. Evan Mobley, 19 points, 11 rebounds for the Cavs. Jaylen Brown, 30 points, 5 boards, 4 assists for Boston. Jarrett Allen, 25 minutes, 16 points, 6 rebounds. That was it. Donovan Mitchell, only 15 last night. Jalen Tyson had 19 for the Cavs. DeAndre Hunter had 18. Lonzo, 3 points off the bench. Porter, 7 off the bench. Wade, 6 off the bench. Larry Nance Jr. didn't even score. So a rough night in Boston. Cavs fall to the Celtics, 125-105. Cavaliers are back in action tomorrow night at home against Toronto at 7:30. I wonder if anybody from Toronto will be watching the Raptors and the Cavs tomorrow night while the Blue Jays are going for the World Series against the Dodgers. All right, we'll take a break real quick. Our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. It's our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Question number 2, if you could only have one fast food restaurant to pick from the rest of your life, where would it be? And question number 3, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Get those comments in. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. 1310 WDPN.
This fall, the fear returns. Enter the Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. 2 terrifying attractions, 1 horrifying night. Face your deepest fears across 3 haunted floors of spine-chilling terror. Are you brave enough to make it out alive? Open now. Get tickets at hauntedschoolhouse.com.
This Friday night at Cara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union, OHSAA high school football. It's the Alliance Aviators taking on Geneva. Pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7. You can join myself, Sam Bourquin, along with Caleb Norick for all the action here on AM 1310 WDPN as a pair of 8-2 teams go at it in the first round of the playoffs. Pregame at 6:30, the kick at 7. It's Alliance, it's Geneva for the right to move on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming at Q92radiosports.com.
This Sunday, Lon Chaney's legendary Phantom of the Opera returns. Sunday, November 2nd at 3 p.m. at the Canton Palace Theater. Experience the original 1925 film with a live 16-piece orchestra and the majestic Kilgan organ. Tickets are just $18. Buy your tickets now at CantonPalaceTheater.org.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. A couple of minutes before we get you to the bottom of the hour. Love our Halloween music, our horror movie themes. Going to be playing these today and tomorrow, mixing it up a little bit. We got a good little spooky music library for you for the next couple of shows here. So we hope you enjoy that. All right, text line open 330-924-7088. I told you at the outset I may have some news on a opening at a Stark County high school for the head football coaching position. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a done deal, but I'm not 100%, and I'm waiting, as a good news person would do, to get the final clarification. And as soon as I get that, I will pass it along to you. I will tell you it's a Federal League school. How about that? I'll tell you it's a Federal League school that's looking for a new head football coach. Also, just finding out, courtesy of my guy Gene Simmons on the Ohio High School football page, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary is looking for a new head football coach. Doran Grant is out with the Irish. So St. Vincent St. Mary will be looking for a new head football coach next year as well. Boy, they have been struggling the last few years. See if they can get things turned around. All right, news and weather coming up. On the other side, it's time to talk purple. We'll talk to Geoff Dartt, head football coach of the University of Mount Union, when we get back on 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. It's been 30 days since the government shutdown began, and lawmakers are no closer to negotiating a bill that would reopen and fund government programs and services. Federal workers are working without pay, and funding for food assistance programs is set to run out this weekend. The White House President J.D. Vance says air traffic controllers are also feeling the financial strain.
I think that as much as delays have gotten worse over the last couple of weeks, everybody here is very worried that we're going to see more delays, more stresses on the people who are actually making the aviation system run.
Democrats say they want to have conversations about extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that, if allowed to expire, could raise premiums for tens of millions of Americans. Republicans say they won't have a discussion until the government is reopened. President Trump has appeared to suggest on social media that the U.S. resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 3 decades. There was no indication that the U.S. would start detonating warheads. Trump offered few details about what seemed to be a significant shift in U.S. policy. He made the announcement on social media minutes after meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping today in South Korea. The U.S. military already regularly tests its missiles that are capable of delivering a warhead, but it has not detonated the weapons since 1992 because of a test ban. The U.S. military is sending a team to Jamaica to assess damage from Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall there as a Category 5 storm. 490,000 customers are without power. Desmond McKenzie, Jamaica's Minister of Local Government and Community Development, says about 13,000 are still in shelters across the island.
So the shelters will remain in operation, especially in the parishes that have been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the United States is ready to help the Cuban people recover from devastation wrought by Melissa, despite long-standing hostility between Washington and Havana. Israel's military says Palestinian militants have handed over 2 sets of remains of hostages to the Red Cross in Gaza. This follows the return of 15 hostages' remains since the ceasefire began, with 13 more to be recovered. The Handover indicates progress in the fragile ceasefire agreement, despite Israeli strikes on Gaza overnight. Officials in southern Gaza report at least 40 people injured in the strikes. The Israeli army confirms that targeted terrorist infrastructure in Khan Yunis. The ceasefire, which began October 10th, aims to end the conflict between Israel and Hamas. It's 48 degrees and Alliance at 332. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for rain this afternoon with windy conditions, a high near 49. Tonight, rain continuing, a low near 39 with wind gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Friday, a chance of rain, otherwise partly sunny, a high near 52, continued breezy. Saturday, slight chance of rain in the afternoon, mostly sunny, otherwise a high near 53. That's your WDPN weather.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Halloween is coming up tomorrow. And boy, it looks like Halloween out there today. I mean, it is just absolutely pouring rain. It's disgustingly gloomy. Got to get a couple of paddles on a boat to get out of here tonight. Hope 62 isn't flooded. It's like 7 o'clock tonight when I'm going home. Welcome back to the show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. We're streaming, of course. You can check us out on our WDPN Facebook page, X page, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Got the 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll run back by you again. We'll get back into the World Series talk. The Cavs fall flat in Boston last night, but they got a big weekend coming up Friday and Sunday. And we got some other stuff we're going to throw at you as well. Right now, it's time to talk a little Mount Union football with the head football coach of Purple Raider Nation. That, of course, is head coach Geoff Dartt, kind enough to join us here on this Thursday afternoon. Good afternoon, Coach. How are we doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, you got it. Anytime. Look forward to our visits on Thursday. So last we talked, you guys had started some kind of break, and there was a little different with the scheduling and lifting and stuff like that. Are you back on your regular schedule, and did you practice today, or are you getting ready to go out later?
Yeah, we're back on our regular schedule from fall break. So yeah, we'll practice today. Probably going to go inside. Probably not worth it in this kind of weather as guys are getting sick and all that, but can mentally focus, get some great mental reps. And then go tomorrow morning. Weather should clear up by then.
On a day like today, and I mean the weather always changes, but sometimes the meteorologists, they actually do get it right. And what time did you make the call today that you guys would be going inside?
Well, we talked about it yesterday, just with the weather coming in, but then confirmed today. So we'll just head over to the field house. It'll be a whole lot quicker because, we're not going to have as much time to flex or indie or anything like that. Just get right into our review of offense, defense, and special teams.
So that was my next question. Now that you got a transfer from outdoors to indoors, what will that be like? I know you got a mature group; they'll be able to handle all that, and you'll get your work done. But what's it like for the coaches and even the players when you can't, you don't have that outside, you don't have just space to do what you need to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just alignment, assignment, right? In terms of identifying things, you can't really go full go or anything like that. We don't want people falling on the ground in the field house, but it is nice that, take something off of them a little bit, and there's really no point to go out, in the rain and get even more sick. I'm sure eventually we'll have to play in some weather, but it doesn't look like this week, so we made a decision to go inside.
Head coach of the Purple Raiders, Geoff Dartt, our guest, 1310 WDPN here on the Sam Bourquin Show. All right, Coach, 33-7 over Northern last weekend. Always a very physical game when you get together with those guys. And if you could maybe put that win in a capsule, what you liked and what you might try to continue to improve on.
Yeah, obviously they're a really good team. Offensively, they ran the ball very well, and their quarterback, was throwing it pretty well throughout the course of the season. Defensively, they present a unique defense. I thought we handled it much better this year than last year. This is Coach Freeze's second year, so a little bit of an adjustment there from last year's game. And I thought the offensive line and tight ends and running backs handled it really, really well. And we were efficient. Would have liked to have, maybe at least one more score. And we kicked 2 field goals that, we want to finish with touchdowns, but we took care of the football. Defense played great, and great team win.
Yeah, Coach, the defense has been on fire. The last 4 games, you've given up 7, 0, 6, and 7. We always talk about who stands out for you on both sides of the ball that particular week. This had to have been another great team effort on that side of the ball, but who did stand out for you?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It was a team effort, right? I mean, it takes all 11 people to, take the ball. And then it takes all 11 people to, own their job, go and tackle, get off blocks. Like I said before, Holland Northern had a really, really good run game. I thought, we shut that down based on how much they were averaging. And then we were able to get after the quarterback too. So total team effort on defense, everyone stood out to me.
Coach, you're 8 weeks in, 7 games in because of the bye. Are you where you thought you might be by this point in the season?
Yeah, I like where we're at. I continue to challenge the guys that I don't believe we played our best and most complete game yet, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at this time of year. But definitely Capital has our attention because it's the next opportunity for us to execute. And we got to be ready to roll on Saturday.
With the season's just it's flashing by. You get 3 to go, and then it's time for the postseason. And I go back to the game against Wheaton. I go back to the game against Grove City, and I wonder. I always like to get ask the coach, like, how did those 2 games prep you for the upcoming OA season? Take it a step further. How did those 2 teams prep you for the OAC and beyond here in 2025?
Yeah, those are 2 great opponents. I thought we played very well the first 3 quarters of the Wheaton game and let up a little bit, but I thought Grove City was a complete game. Offense, defense, and special teams still left a little bit out there. But to start off with 2 potential playoff teams at the beginning of your season, I think it absolutely has your attention. And then after the bye week, we go to BW, who's having a fantastic year. So, they were ready, right? A lot of credit to that goes to the assistant coaches in terms of their preparation. And then the guys, I think they were confident in terms of what they needed to do in terms of execution. And they've continued to do that, throughout the past few weeks as well.
How important is it to you as the head coach to, if you can, and I know it's so hard at the D3 level, especially when you have a team that exits the conference, and now you gotta make a quick marriage with another conference, and so you can have 2. But how important is it to you to maybe play different styles of football that you may see down the road? Is that a preference at all, or you just gotta take what you can get?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both, to be honest with you. Obviously non-conference scheduling is nothing easy. Especially if you're a top 10 team in Division III football. But from the aspect of, what kind of offense or defense maybe that you're going to see in postseason play, we still have a few games to take care of business before we even start to think about that. We wanted to be aggressive in our off season or in our non-conference scheduling. And we did that. And, next year we have the same 2 opponents. We'll be at Wheaton and then home against Grove City. So I expect them, to be really, really good again.
No doubt. Geoff Dartt, our head coach. Yeah, he is our head coach of the University of Mount Union, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. I'd have loved to play for you, Coach. Trust me.
Thank you.
Capital coming up, the little trip down on the river, and then you're home against Muskingum. What would you like to see out of your group here the next 3 weeks? What's the biggest thing you're maybe looking for besides consistency? That makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Continue to allow themselves to be coached, and just the little details, right? I think that's when you get into the grind of the season, where we're at right now. Got to be able to finish, right? Got to fight complacency, and I think it's just staying simple in those areas, and I believe our coaches do a great job of, delivering that information to our players. And then we got guys at the end of the day that they love football. They love to be coached. They want to practice. A few of them were upset today that we weren't going outside, but yeah.
Okay. Stay in, fellas.
But yeah, no, we're excited about the opportunity we have on Saturday, and that's the only thing we're worried about right now.
Off the cuff question, on a day like today, and let's just say that you give in and you say, okay, all right, we'll go outside for a little while. Who on the team would be the first to get into some kind of shenanigans outside in the rain?
Oh, you're talking about like sliding around or something?
Yeah. Who would be the first one?
Oh, I don't know. I can't really put. Yeah, we have some silly guys in different position groups, so I'm sure someone would be, the first person to slide around or something like that. But no, we got a fun group of guys that enjoy being around one another. So I'm not sure.
That's probably a good way to answer that one. You're not sure. You mentioned complacency about 90 seconds ago. Is this the point in the season, where you really lean on your assistant coaches and maybe your senior leadership to get you through those kind of days, if you will?
Yeah, a little bit. We have a great tradition here at Mount Union, and it's always been about the next game and the next opportunity. There's no point to look ahead, and there's really no point to look back either. We can't control the things in the past because they already happened, but we can control what our focus, attitude, and effort is for today's practice. All right, it's going to be inside. All right, it's it echoes in the field house and all of that, so we have to lock in, with our listening and communication, and we just have to be ready to handle a mental day, and we can still get a lot of good work done that way.
All right, Coach, it's Thursday. It's raining out, but it's never too wet for the 3-question Thursday quiz. You ready?
I'm ready, but I didn't get the 3 questions last week.
You know what? They were so – I don't think you would have enjoyed them. They were like –
okay.
They were blah. They weren't good.
Okay, I got you.
Here we go this week. Question number 1. Should the Cleveland Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance?
Well, I know there's a lot of people on social media that like to complain about the leadership of the Cleveland Browns organization, so I don't want to be on their board. But I'm not too sure you can get rid of a talent like that. I think he's the type of player that you build an organization around. So, no, I don't think they should have traded him.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. If you had only one fast food restaurant to pick from for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Taco Bell.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, without hesitation, being a former offensive lineman. Yeah, Taco Bell.
All right, that was quick. All right, question number 3, Halloween time. What's your all-time favorite Halloween candy?
I love Snickers. So I encourage, my 3 children when they go out to ask for extra Snickers, and then I unfortunately steal them out of their baskets.
You know what? I believe that 100%.
Yeah, it's 100% true. I actually did it this afternoon when I dropped my daughter off after school. So took some out of her little brother's. So he'll have to figure that out when he gets home.
Wow. So you actually go rooting through their stuff, huh?
Just for the Snickers.
Snickers. Okay.
Yep,
all right.
that's it.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest. Coach, we always appreciate the visit. Stay dry as you can today indoors, and we'll see you over at the stadium on Saturday.
All right. Thanks. Go Raiders.
You got it. There he goes. Geoff Dartt, the head football coach of the University of Mount Union, stealing Snickers out of his children's Halloween candy pile. Interesting. We'll take a break. It's 3:48 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Is your foot or ankle pain slowing you down? At Alliance and Salem Foot and Ankle Clinics, we believe every step should feel good. From heel pain and ingrown toenails to diabetic foot care and custom orthotics, our expert podiatrist is here to keep you moving comfortably. Located right here in Alliance and also a clinic in Salem, we believe in treating every patient like family. Take the first step toward your foot care. Call 330-821-6438 or visit alliancefootanankle.com to schedule your appointment today.
This is Marlington School Board member Jonathan Swift. I urge you to vote Humphreys Krupko Ryan for Marlington Board of Education. You have been repeatedly lied to by their opponents about taxes and the deficit. Thanks to Karen Humphreys, Kathy Krupko, and Mark Ryan, Marlington now has the lowest effective tax millage rate of any school in Starr County. Marlington will end the fiscal year 2026 with a budget surplus of $349,000, and Marlington has cut $2.6 million from the budget. Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan pledged no new taxes. On November 4th, Marlington voters have a choice to keep moving Marlington forward. Their opponents will do or say anything to get elected. Say no to their divisive tactics. Vote Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan. On November 4th, vote Humphreys, Krupko, Ryan for Marlington Board of Education. Paid for by Marlington Forward.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
Donnie Iris and the Cruisers. Saturday, November 8th at the historic Canton Palace Theater. Donnie Iris and the Cruisers with special guests Beauty and the Beat and drummer Joe Vitale. It's a show you won't want to miss. Join Donnie Iris and the Cruisers for an unforgettable night, November 8th at the Canton Palace Theater.
Tickets on sale now at cantonpalacetheater.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Thanks to Coach Dartt for spending some time with us today from the University of Mount Union before they head over to the field house and get a little indoor practice in this afternoon. Don't forget 1:30 on Saturday from Cara Stadium, Mount Union and Capital. 1:30 p.m. kick right here on AM 1310 WDPN and, of course, all of our social media platforms. Did you see LeBron James just announced he is releasing a children's book? Happy Spooky Halloween. LeBron said this was a bucket list item for him and that he used to read all of the Goosebumps series when he was growing up. So now LeBron, the author of Happy Spooky Halloween.
Arthur, coincidentally, another great children's book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I watched Arthur when I was a kid.
I remember Arthur the movie with Oh, what the heck was that, guys? See, I go. I go halfway here, and
well, they remade it with Russell Brand, I think.
Right, I did not.
I don't know who the
one.
original is.
The original one, Arthur. Who was it? He had like the accent. Dudley Moore. It was Dudley Moore. There, I actually remembered something. I'm half tempted to go down the comments here with the with the announcement of LeBron putting out the Halloween book. Boy, I don't know. Oh, see. The book is focused on scary hairlines across the NBA. See, I knew it. Just is there a chapter about the 2011 NBA Finals? This is why he's been sitting on the bench. He must have had writer's block. Arthur. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. We're gonna shut that page down right there. All right. Text line is open 330-924-7088. Let's get you back to our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1. Should the Cleveland Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Question number 2. If you could only have one fast food place to go to the rest of your life, where would it be? Question number 3. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Get your comments in on all of our social media platforms, and we'll read those throughout this show. And boy, they're coming in quick today.
I bet we're going to get a lot of people like Coach Dartt, the Taco Bell diehards.
Yeah, right away, Chick-fil-A is killing it right now. I'm looking down at some of them. Bill says, no, hold on to Myles. 2, Chick-fil-A. 3, Hershey Bar. Dougie says, no, keep Myles. His fast food place would be Chick-fil-A. Kit Kat and Whoppers for his favorite Halloween candy. Russ says, trade him now if you can. Chick-fil-A, his fast food place to go, and Almond Joy, his favorite Halloween candy. Mike says, yes, trade Myles for a couple of first-round picks if you can. Fast food place will be Chick-fil-A, Halloween candy, 3 Musketeers, or a Payday. I love Payday. Can't eat them anymore, but I loved them when I was growing up. Let's see here. Steve says, yeah, trade him to Cincinnati. Haha. Wendy's, his go-to fast food. Reese Cup, his favorite Halloween candy. Brian says, Myles Garrett wanted out because he knew the team would be trash. They are not going to bring in anyone good anyhow. Just hold on to him. Go-to fast food for life, Chick-fil-A. Favorite Halloween candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. That's going to be a popular one today. Thomas says, you don't trade the best defensive player in your organization. He is also a future Hall of Famer. 2, go-to for life, Wendy's with the fast food. Favorite Halloween candy, the frozen Reese Cup. Oh, getting a little wild there. Okay. Let's see here. Brian says, absolutely, I would have traded Myles Garrett. Mr. Hero is his fast food for life. Reese Peanut Butter Cups is his favorite Halloween candy.
That's cool. I didn't think anybody would say Mr. Hero. Thought it was a forgotten one.
Yeah, Mr. Hero's kind of off the grid.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is good. They are very expensive.
Yes.
Very expensive. Like I'm talking, they're like $2 over per item on their menu board. And that's pretty bad. But it is good. Is there a Mr. Hero in Alliance?
Not anymore. They closed it about a year ago, I want to say, maybe 2.
Was it on State?
Yeah, it was right by on the McDonald's end, which is not actually helpful because there's a McDonald's at each end of Alliance.
Right.
But the other end, not the end by the highway.
Okay, so no more Mr. Hero.
Yeah, no, I was devastated.
I do like to go. It's just like, I know there's one on Cleveland Avenue, sort of close to where I'm at. And I know there's one out by Belden Village Mall. I don't know where I think there might be one on Lincoln Way, but I'm not sure. Boy, if you've been on 62 here lately, Long John Silver's is almost ready. I cannot believe they are building a brand new one of those, but they are.
They're building a whoa.
Yes. Yes. Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's on 62. If you're coming east to be on your left-hand side, it's going to be real close to the Taco Bell on 62.
Look, I'll be honest. Long John's is just kind of a guilty pleasure thing.
I'm shocked. I mean, I thought Long John Silver's was kaput.
No.
And because they closed the only one we had around here, it was on Raff off of Tusk, and they closed it.
Oh, did they close that one?
Oh, yeah, it's been gone.
Well,
but there is one. There's a combo with Taco Bell on Main and North Canton.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
That's the one. And then, but they've got a brand new standalone. It's going up. It's going to be open here pretty soon, looks like. Robin says, no, hold on to Myles Garrett. His fast food for life, Piata. Favorite, Piata's good. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, his favorite Halloween candy. All right, I've found someone I'm going to get into a fight with. Jeff, it's on his third question. He says, no, you shouldn't have traded Myles. 2, this isn't really fast food, but he says, Der Dutchman in Amish country. Oh, God, I could live off of that. Question 3, Jeff, your favorite Halloween candy. What do you think Jeff said?
Smarties.
Candy corn.
Ugh.
Instant vomit.
Ugh.
Candy corn.
Why don't you just eat plastic?
Wow. Why not just eat wax with sugar on it?
Go eat a candle. It's the same thing.
Go eat a candle. Jeffrey, come on. But we appreciate the banner. Bill, proud Canton South Wildcat. No, they should not have traded him, and they didn't. Wendy's, his go-to fast food for life. Favorite Halloween candy is Butterfinger. Let's see here. George says, no, the Browns should not have traded Garrett, and they didn't. Question 2, go-to fast food for life. He says, definitely Wendy's. The best food, and my brother is a regional manager. How about that, George? Hey, George, why don't you send some Wendy's over to the radio station one day? We would love it. I know there's a Wendy's on State Street.
Oh, yeah.
Make the call.
I love their chicken sandwiches.
Make the call. Kit Kat is his favorite Halloween candy. One more here before we get to the top of the hour. I'm just going to scroll through here and try to find Toddy. Hey, Toddy. She says, yes, he deserves better than this organization. Should have traded Myles Garrett. Chipotle is your go-to for life. Oh, no, Toddy. Another candy corn for the favorite Halloween candy. All right, we'll take a break. We got the news and weather coming up. 1 hour in, 2 more big ones to go right here on 1310.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The government shutdown now in its 5th week, showing no end in sight. 42 million Americans who rely on federal SNAP food assistance programs could see funding run out this weekend. Britain's King Charles, in a palace statement, has initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of Prince Andrew. Andrew has faced renewed allegations tied to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and one of his victims, Virginia Giuffre. ABC's Patrick Regal has more.
He will no longer be known as Prince Andrew. Instead, he will only be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He has also been told to surrender the lease to his royal lodge in Windsor, his accommodation in Windsor, and will now find private accommodation.
The statement ends saying, quote, "Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse." On Wall Street, stocks are down this hour. This is ABC News.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practice.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. As area food pantries prepare for a possible surge in demand, many say they're already feeling the strain. With a federal government shutdown expected to suspend SNAP benefits Saturday, ministries like Harvesting Hope in Our Community and Clothed in Righteousness in Alliance are bracing for more families seeking help. Tanya Dean of Harvesting Hope says costs and workloads are up while donations and volunteers are stretched thin. The repository reports the Alliance Community Pantry expects more clients and may add hours to keep up with demand. Local leaders say community support is more important than ever. The Stark County Area Transportation Study is out with its latest crash and safety report, and there's a new spot at the top. The most hazardous intersection over the past 3 years is Route 173 at Paris Avenue Northeast in Marlborough Township. It jumped from second place last year with 22 crashes over the period. 60% of those wrecks were caused by failure to yield, and it has a disproportionate number of serious injury crashes for its traffic volume. ODOT plans a roundabout for the crossing, but construction is still 4 years away. In second place is 15th Street Northeast and Walnut Avenue in Canton, followed by Dressler and Everhard Roads Northwest in Jackson Township, and Route 62, Harmont Avenue and Lesh Street Northeast in Canton. A man who agreed to help Alliance Police with a drug investigation is now facing charges of grand theft, tampering with evidence, and obstructing official business. 39-year-old Victor Harrington of Alliance was arrested Tuesday after admitting to having glass pipes for meth and tobacco at a home on North Webb Avenue. Police say he agreed to make a controlled meth buy for detectives, but instead took their $20 buy money and an $8,000 recording device and took off. Officers found him 2 hours later at the Sarda bus station on East Prospect Street with snacks and a new bus ticket. Harrington was arraigned Wednesday in Alliance Municipal Court. Bond was set at $50,000, and a preliminary hearing is set for November 7th. City crews are getting ready to roll out Alliance's annual leaf pickup program, which officially starts the week of November 10th. The street department will begin testing equipment and training new employees November 3rd, so any leaves collected that week won't count as the first round. Residents are asked to keep leaves off the street and place them only on the curb lawn. Piles mixed with trash, sticks, or yard waste won't be picked up, and cars parked in front of piles will prevent collection. Crews plan one pass through each section, with a second only if weather cooperates. A Sebring man could soon be indicted on an attempted murder charge after a shooting at a local bar. 52-year-old Jose Cintrone is accused of firing a gun inside the Oregon pub October 12th. Police say he missed his intended target and hit a woman in the shoulder. Cintrone fled but was arrested later that day. He waived his preliminary hearing in court today, sending the case to a Mahoning County grand jury for possible indictment. The Columbiana County Humane Society is investigating after 4 dead horses were found at Pure Gold Horse Stables in Salem Township. A woman leasing the property reported the discovery Sunday, saying the animals appeared to have been locked inside and left to starve. Property owner claims the horses may have been poisoned by a former employee. A retired Cuyahoga County judge is now involved in the aggravated murder case against William Long, prompting a delay in his trial. Judge William McGinty has been assigned to handle a defense motion to suppress evidence after visiting Judge Edward O'Farrell recused himself. Long is accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife Michelle Long outside her Butler Township home in November 2023. The trial, originally set for November 18th, has been moved to February 3rd as the defense prepares to file additional motions challenging expert testimony. Long remains held on a $1.5 million bond. A Mahoning County grand jury has indicted 2 people in separate deadly incidents in Youngstown. 22-year-old Deviana Taylor is charged with murder, felonious assault, and domestic violence in the September 6th shooting death of 22-year-old Alicia Brown at their Terrell Avenue apartment. Taylor is jailed on $1 million bond. Meanwhile, 42-year-old Laird Bruner was indicted on aggravated vehicular homicide and leaving the scene charges. Accused of running over 53-year-old Joseph Novicic on Loveland Road September 29th, then driving off. Both cases will move to common pleas court. A traffic stop on Youngstown's south side ended with police recovering 2 guns and arresting the driver. Officers say 27-year-old Jaquan Talley led them on a brief chase Tuesday afternoon after failing to stop at Market Street and West Hilda Avenue. When Talley finally pulled over on Hillman Street, police reportedly found a semi-automatic rifle and a pistol on the back floor of his car, despite his claim that there were no firearms. He allegedly resisted arrest and refused to give his name. Talley is now in the Mahoning County Jail, facing charges including failure to comply and improper handling of firearms. Talley was arraigned Wednesday in Youngstown Municipal Court. A proposed $3.6 billion AI data center could bring 120 high-paying jobs to Lordstown if village leaders don't move forward with a ban on such facilities. Bristolville 25 LLC plans to build multiple data buildings and promises $10.8 million for water upgrades and a community fund. Mayor Jackie Woodward tells WFMJ-TV she's concerned about light and noise impacts on residents, while the regional chamber calls it a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Council is expected to hold a final vote on the ban November 3rd. It's 48 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Rain and breezy conditions in the forecast for this afternoon with a high near 49 degrees. Tonight, rain continuing, still breezy with gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Friday, a 30% chance of rain, otherwise partly sunny, a high 52. For Saturday, slight chance of rain in the afternoon, mostly sunny, otherwise a high near 53, chance of rain 20%. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Of course, everything works off that fastball. Curveball he can throw for a strike, change up that he wants to swing and a miss. Here he comes in game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field. Call to the track. It's down on the first pitch of game 5. Junior hooks the ball down the left field line. They've got back to start game 5. 1-2 to Freeman. There's a dozen for Trey Savage. And the Blue Jays are headed home, one win from the championship.
Slammed out. And away come the Jackets with some numbers here. Odd man rush. Werenski shoots. He scores! Zach Werenski!
No fouls to give from Minnesota. Into the hands of Reeves. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Reeves splits the defense. The floater in the paint. It's good! At the buzzer! Austin Reeves does it again.
AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Hope you're staying dry out there today. It is wet. It is miserable. It's getting a little bit windier as the day goes on. So if you're out and about, be careful. Stay away from those tricky situations on the roads where you think it might not be a good idea to pass through all the water. And I'm sure there's a lot of localized flooding going on. So be careful if you're out and about. Anything crazy or wild you see out there, let us know. We can pass it along. I'm sure Jeff Mears is on top of things in the 1310 WDPN newsroom, so if he hears of anything, we'll get that out there to you. Text line is open for you, 330-924-7088. You can also drop your comments on our Q92 radio page on YouTube, and, of course, on the comment section and our WDPN X page, our Facebook page. And don't forget, you can always text the show. 330-924-7088. And if you're watching on one of our live streams today, wherever it is, there's a little link there. It says Talk with Sam. You can pop that link open, and we'll get you right into the virtual studio, and we can talk and have a good little conversation. All right, the World Series going back to Canada tomorrow. That's right, Game 6 of the World Series. The Blue Jays beat the Dodgers last night and beat them good by the score of 6-1. That game was never in doubt last night. Never. Pitching was phenomenal by the Blue Jays. 12 strikeouts for Ian Savage last night. 12. He's 22 years old. He looked like he was 30. Just an incredible story. Couple of home runs to open the game. Like 2 home runs within the first 3 pitches in the first inning. And you kind of got a pretty good idea that Blake Snell just didn't have it last night for the Dodgers. And he didn't. So the Blue Jays, for the first time in 32 years, have a chance to win the World Series. They'll get their chance tomorrow night. Gosman against Yamamoto. Rogers Center. 8:08 the first pitch tomorrow night. You can catch that game on Fox. I got a good plan for you tomorrow, because it looks like the weather's going to be a little I know there's a lot of trick-or-treating going on tomorrow night. So if you're home, you can listen to all of our high school football coverage tomorrow night. You can keep it here on 1310 WDPN. We'll have Alliance in Geneva at 7. You can click on to Q92 Radio, where Hoover will play Columbus Northland. You can check out Q92radiosports.com. We'll have 5 other big games for you tomorrow night. You can pass out candy. You can watch the World Series. And you can stay tuned with us with all the high school football playoff action. Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me. So there you go. A little something you can do tomorrow night if you're going to be staying in and not going to any games tomorrow night, or, of course, trick-or-treating in a lot of places tomorrow. So there you go. Little World Series on TV. You can take care of those little rascals knocking on your door or ringing your doorbell for candy, and you can keep up with all the high school football playoff action on WDPN and, of course, the Q92 Radio Sports Network. Got some big games tomorrow night. I think this Alliance Geneva game is going to be pretty good. Going to be pretty good. The wind tomorrow night. I don't know what it's going to like later today and like overnight, and I think early tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of gusting wind. I don't know what the wind's going to be like, say, tomorrow night once we start playing football. But if it's constant still 25, 35, 40 mile an hour winds, that is going to take its toll on some of the passing games around the area. So we'll see how it affects things. But there's some big games tomorrow night. Again, we'll have Alliance Geneva here on 1310. And, of course, the Q92 Radio Sports Network. We got 6 other big games tomorrow night. You can check those out whenever you wish. Thanks to Geoff Dartt, Mount Union head football coach, for joining us earlier in the program. Ross Benjamin, our sports handicapper from WagerTalk.com. He'll be joining us at 4:35. He'll break down the college and football games this weekend and who he really likes and who he may be leaning toward. We'll talk to Ross coming up in about 20 minutes or so. A couple of notes from college football. Let's start a little bit closer to home, shall we? Matt Carney's interim tag is gone. That's right. Kent State announced that Carney had been named the team's permanent head coach. Golden Flashes are 3-5 this year. Believe it or not, they have an outside shot at a bowl game. You only need to get to 6. Remember, Kent had just won 1 game the past 2 years. They haven't been to a bowl game since 2021. But he's got the flashes. He's got them playing. Kenny Burns out. Carney was named the interim coach, and now he's been elevated to head coach of Kent State. Kent State entered the season with the lowest bet NGM win total of any FBS school. At over-under was 1.5 wins. And rightly so, because under Burns, they had gone one. Kent was 1-23 under Burns in his 2 years. Kearney's promotion means now that there are 11 open head coaching positions through the first 9 weeks of the college football season. And that number will just grow. That will grow by the end of November. So maybe the Flashes finally got their guy. Maybe they finally got their guy. Best of luck to Coach Kearney with the Golden Flashes. Meanwhile, Nebraska said, Coach Rule, you're not going anywhere. They made sure of that. According to multiple reports, Rule signed a 2-year contract extension with Nebraska through the 2032 season. As part of that extension, Rule's buyout to leave for another job this offseason is $15 million and becomes a big hurdle for any school looking to hire him as a head coach. Now, he hasn't exactly set the world on fire in Nebraska, but they are winning more. They're starting to win games that they would have been losing. And I think the folks in Lincoln have kind of gravitated toward Coach Rule. He's 6-2 this year. And they've got a chance to get their win over a ranked team for the first time since 2014 against USC on Saturday. Huskers have gone to just one bowl game since 2016. That is unfathomable. 2016. We are talking about Nebraska. They've gone to one bowl game since 2016. Heck, they won 7-6 last year. That was their first winning season since going 9-4 almost 10 years ago. I remember Nebraska growing up. Tom Osborne, Lawrence Phillips, Tommy Frazier, Dave Remington was one of the greatest centers of all time. They had wide receivers like Irving Fryer, running backs like Mike Rozier, Jarvis Redwine. Folks, Nebraska they were the bleep. They were up there every single year playing for a national championship. And then Tom Osborne had been there for a long, long time. And it was time for a change. And they haven't been squat since, really. I mean, they haven't even. I mean, they're just so far away from what they used to be. So far away from what they used to be. Scott Frost, that experiment did not work out well at all. The former Nebraska quarterback, remember he played there, led them to a couple of really good seasons, and then he was an assistant there, and then he took the head coaching job down at Central Florida, took them to an undefeated season, and then went back to be the head coach at Nebraska, his alma mater. It was a disaster. Absolutely a disaster. So he's back in Central Florida now.
Sal texted in to say, as a youngster, Nebraska scared me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they were so good. They were so good. Now, you did get them on TV a little bit. Not as much as you do now, but remember, they usually had a couple of big nationally televised games over the season. They always had their big rivalry game with Oklahoma, which was usually on a Friday of Thanksgiving weekend, because you had Oklahoma, Nebraska on Friday. Then you had Ohio State, Michigan on Saturday, and then you had USC, UCLA. That was the late afternoon game on Saturday. But yeah, Nebraska they were the big bully, man. Little old Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, I don't know how they got all those kids to go there. Not saying anything, but I'm telling you, Nebraska's a hard place to recruit. There's not much to do in Lincoln. But somehow they got those kids to go there, and they played, and they were good. They were really good. So we'll see if Matt Rule can do the full turnaround and get the Cornhuskers back on top where they were years and years ago. Still a lot of openings out there, and there will be a lot more openings. I wonder where James Franklin is going to end up, or if he just does a little TV for a year. I wonder where Billy Napier is going to end up. He'll probably go to TV. There's going to be some openings out there. There's going to be some openings. I don't know. Like, who's gonna reach out and make the first big hire of the big name that got let go earlier this season? Who's going to go after James Franklin? He's probably going to get a lot of suitors. I don't know if James will ever win you a national championship, but he'll get your program in the top 10, top 15. You'll win. And maybe if it's a school that hasn't won in a long time and they want that kind of like that big name, maybe that's the direction that they go. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Trying to think of a good spot. Of course, I don't know what the other openings are going to be, and there will be a lot at the end of the year. I mean, where's Brian Kelly going to end up? Does he go into TV? It's almost like an afterthought. If you get fired in the NFL or you get fired in college football, you got that sweet buyout, right? But these guys they all seem to gravitate toward TV. The college coaches go on the college football shows, and the NFL coaches that get fired, they'll go to, NFL Today, ESPN, whatever. They always, it's like a direct shot, right, to go to television. So we'll see how this all plays out. Sam Bourquin Show poll question today. 3-question Thursday on 1310 WDPN. Question number 1: should the Cleveland Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Question number 2: if you could pick only one fast food place for the rest of your life, which one would it be? Question number 3: what's your favorite Halloween candy? What's your favorite Halloween candy? Get those comments in. Text them 330-924-7088. You can also drop your comments on all of our social media platforms on X, Instagram, Facebook, Q92 radio page on YouTube. Mike says, no, they should not have traded Myles. Glad they kept him. Steak and Shake is his go-to for life, for fast food. Take 5 is his favorite Halloween candy.
I would call that man a connoisseur.
Take 5's good.
Take 5's great.
Very underrated. Very underrated. Jim says, glad they didn't trade Myles. Pizza Oven is his go-to place for life. Favorite Halloween candy is the full-size Kit Kat bar. Don't be giving Jim the little, the little fun. You know what I never understood? You got the full-size candy bar, and then you got the fun size. What the hell was so fun about that? What is good about a fun-size candy bar? It's like 2 bites and it's done. There's nothing fun about that.
It's fun for kids.
They should call it rip-off size.
It's kid-sized.
But, hey, man, when I was a kid, I wanted more than 2 bites out of a candy bar.
No, that's totally fair.
I mean, I wanted the big one. I wanted the full size. Fun size. Who came up with that scam? Frank says the Browns should have kept Myles. Glad they did. McDonald's is his go-to for life. Reese Cups, his favorite Halloween candy. One more before we get to break. Rocky just letting it go today. Should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett? Abso-bleeping-lutely. His go-to fast food for life would be Mr. Hero. His favorite Halloween candy, the Jerry Judy bar, a.k.a. Butterfinger. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This Sunday, Lon Chaney's legendary Phantom of the Opera returns. Sunday, November 2nd at 3 p.m. at the Canton Palace Theater. Experience the original 1925 film with a live 16-piece orchestra and the majestic Kilgan organ. Tickets are just $18. Buy your tickets now at CantonPalaceTheater.org.
This Friday night at Kara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union, OHSAA high school football. It's the Alliance Aviators taking on Geneva. Pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7. You can join myself, Sam Bourquin, along with Caleb Norick for all the action here on AM 1310 WDPN as a pair of 8-2 teams go at it in the first round of the playoffs. Pregame at 6:30, the kick at 7. It's Alliance, it's Geneva for the right to move on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming at Q92radiosports.com.
This isn't a haunted house. It's a haunted factory. The Factory of Terror in Canton is now open. 5 blood-curdling haunts under one roof. And when you think you've survived, 5 killer theme bars, if your nerves can handle it. Over a mile of fear, no safe zones, no turning back, every corner, something's waiting. Get your tickets now at FOTOhio.com. Factory of Terror, where the fear never dies.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We got about a minute or so before we get to the bottom of the hour news and weather. We got the 3-question Thursday cooking. Don't forget Ross Benjamin, WagerTalk.com. Going to give you his hot picks for college and pro football coming up this weekend. Wonder who he likes in the Bills and the Chiefs. I can't wait to pick his brain on that. Also, Vikings Lions should be a pretty good ball game on Sunday. College again, the schedule it's okay, not great. It's okay. We'll see what he thinks about Ohio State, Penn State, Nebraska, USC. Some other games we'll get into. That's coming up here at around 4:35 this afternoon. And don't forget high school football this weekend. It's week 1 of the OHSAA playoffs. We've got you completely covered. You will be immersed in high school football coverage between AM 1310 WDPN and the Q92 Sports Network. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our social media platforms for the times and the games and where they will be and how you can listen as we get ready to make the walk or the run or the ride, the road to Canton. It all begins tomorrow. News and weather next, 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. President Trump says he had an amazing meeting with China's top leader Xi Jinping that produced very important decisions. Trump met with Xi on the sidelines of a Pacific Rim summit in South Korea, where the two leaders agreed to dial back some of their trade measures and work to resolve others. Trump said China had agreed to buy large quantities of American farm products and to ensure steady supplies of rare earth minerals used in many industries. No formal agreement was signed, suggesting more remains to be done. Meanwhile, the president says he is directing the military to test the nation's nuclear weapons arsenal. In a social media post before meeting with China's president, Trump said that other countries are testing theirs. Russia recently tested a nuclear-capable torpedo. It's unclear which nuclear weapons the president was talking about testing, and many of them are already tested on a routine basis. ABC News contributor and former Pentagon official Mick Mulroy says the U.S. hasn't tested underground nuclear weapons since the 1990s.
If it's an actual nuclear weapon, that would be significant, because that just hasn't been done since the 1990s. It could trigger, of course, another arms race. It's unclear if that's what he meant, if he did mean it, if he has intelligence to the effect that other countries are going to start testing them, so he's going to keep pace. It's just unknown, and maybe that's the intent is to be somewhat ambiguous.
Communities across the northern Caribbean are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. In Jamaica, emergency relief efforts are underway as residents clear roads and assess damage. The storm has left many without homes, power, or communication. Authorities have confirmed at least 4 deaths and thousands remain in shelters. In Cuba, heavy equipment is clearing roads and the military is assisting isolated communities. No deaths have been reported there, but significant damage has occurred. In Haiti, dozens were dead or missing after catastrophic flooding. Progressive House candidate Kat Abou-Ghazaleh has been indicted along with 5 others in the Chicago area after their alleged involvement in an incident outside the Broadview ICE facility. That facility has been an epicenter for anti-ICE protests. ABC's Alex Mallon says Abou-Ghazaleh has said the indictment is a clear violation of her First Amendment rights and is political persecution.
Abou-Ghazaleh has been posting these videos that have been going viral on social media. She's been using this obviously to kind of bring attention towards her campaign for the U.S. House seat. But it's been centered around the idea that ICE is mistreating immigrants at that facility. And so, she's posted videos where she's been shot by rubber bullets, where she was thrown to the ground by an officer. But now we're seeing this move by federal prosecutors to turn the tables and essentially charge her for what they say is impeding an ICE officer.
It's 47 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Rain and breezy this afternoon with a high near 49 degrees. Rain continuing tonight. Wind gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Chance of rain 100%. Rain continuing early Friday. Partly sunny otherwise. A high near 52. Chance of rain 30%. Saturday, slight chance of rain in the afternoon. Mostly sunny otherwise. A high near 53. That's your WDPN weather.
Is your foot or ankle pain slowing you down? At Alliance and Salem Foot and Ankle Clinics, we believe every step should feel good. From heel pain and ingrown toenails to diabetic foot care and custom orthotics, our expert podiatrist is here to keep you moving comfortably. Located right here in Alliance and also a clinic in Salem, we believe in treating every patient like family. Take the first step toward your foot care. Call 330-821-6438 or visit alliancefootанdankle.com to schedule your appointment today.
Back 1310 WDPN. The old Exorcist. Oh, I remember the first time I saw that. Holy smokes. And then, of course, as a good father, I had my 6-year-old son watch it with me. 6 years old. Oh my God. I took so much flack for doing that, and probably rightly so. Probably rightly so. Daddy, why is her head spinning around like that? She's spitting out green fluid. What is going on? It's just a little. She's having issues.
Sam, I was raised the same way, and I'm definitely normal. So, we're good.
I don't. He just seemed to. I don't know. My wife has never been into horror movies, scary. She just isn't. And I just wanted somebody to watch the movie with. And I'm a big horror movie guy, and I watched a ton of them growing up, a ton of them still today as an adult, if you want to call me that. And I was like, why not? Throw the little whippersnapper in there and let's watch The Exorcist. And then we would watch, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then I would introduce them to the Halloween movies and some of the horrible B movies. Like, we watched The Greenskeeper when he was like 8 years old. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? He's going to have nightmares. But he turned out all right. He loves them now, man. We go to the theater at least once a month. At least. Sometimes twice a month. And it's usually a horror movie. Every once in a while we'll do like an action movie. But, that probably wasn't the greatest thing for me to do. Come on over here, young man. Let's listen to this toxic language coming out of somebody who's possessed by the devil. and then make sure you have a good night's sleep. Holy cow. Rick says, Rick, hope you're well. This is a new Rick. You know what? Let me apologize to everybody right now before I forget. As you know, on Facebook, I have a personal Facebook page and I have a show page on Facebook. And I try to keep them separate, right? My personal, stuff about, life and family and experiences and stuff like that. Fun stuff. My show page, my fan page, I like to keep stuff that has to do with things on the show, sporting events, scores, stories, updates, breaking news, photos, videos, stuff like that. So if you're familiar with Facebook, there is the instant messaging. Well, the only instant message that I really check is the one that's on my personal page. But then some of you in the past have sent stuff to my other page, my show page, and I apologize. I just don't think to check it because I'm always on my personal one looking at the messages, and I'll get back to you right away. And I just opened up, somehow I clicked over on its own to the Facebook, my show page, and I've got I don't know, there's 50 to 60 messages that people sent in to me, and I never got back to them because I didn't read them. I didn't know they were there. And I apologize because that's not how I operate. If you take the time to send me a message or something, it might not be within the first couple of minutes, but I will get back to you. And we can carry on a conversation. I really enjoy doing that. But for some reason, I have missed a lot, and I apologize for that. So those of you, if you could, just send them to my instant message me on my personal page. And that way I know I can get back to you a lot faster because I go to that a lot more. So I just wanted to get that out there. Didn't want anybody to think I was blowing them off because it's not how I do. But anyhow, Rick Augustus, I think the first time Rick has ever texted in. He said, Sam, random thought. The North Carolina experiment did not go well. What if Bill Belichick took over as head coach of the Browns? Bring it back. Flashback to 1994. I have to admit I'm a little intrigued there. I'm a little intrigued, but maybe it's too late for Bill Belichick in the NFL. Maybe it's kind of passed him by. You got to remember when he was with the Browns in the 90s, he had one of the greatest coaching staffs ever assembled. Eric Mangini, Nick Saban. I know there's 5 or 6 more that were like, yeah, and they went on to be head coaches. We had an unbelievable staff. He was just getting things going, and then Jackass Modell moved the team to Baltimore, and everything blew up. I would be intrigued, but I just don't know if it would work now. He's got all this stuff going on with his girlfriend relationship thing. He just seems to be a little not all in on stuff. So I probably wouldn't go down that road, Rick, but I can't help but think maybe that would be, maybe you make the phone call. I don't think Bill Belichick survives. He'll probably coach the rest of the year at North Carolina, and that'll be it. I would be really surprised if he comes back. That's just one of those hires that Expectations were through the roof. The talent really wasn't there. The recruiting, obviously, not what it was the last couple of years. And North Carolina Tar Heel football is not having a good year. I would be surprised if Bill Belichick was brought back. We'll see. I don't know what his buyout is or any of that other stuff, but that is interesting, Rick. I'm glad you sent that in. I appreciate that. I just got I see this. Kay sent this in. Look, this should tell you how long it's been between since I've looked at my messages on the show page. This was from October the 7th. And this is from Kay. Kay sends stuff over quite a bit, and I know she listens to the show, listens to the games on the weekend. I'm going to kind of share this with you a little bit. Now remember, this was October the 7th. And we heard from Ross, by the way?
Nothing yet.
Nothing from Ross. Wow.
No.
Hope everything's all right.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. I was about to email him just to check on him.
Okay. After this next little conversation here, we'll try to check in with Ross. Kay says, I hear remember, this is October the 7th, so keep that in mind. I hear you are calling the West Branch Alliance game Friday. And I guess you have never been to West Branch. We're a little bit different from other schools. We embrace our differences. And then she says, to prevent you from making cringeworthy pronunciations, here is a little guide to help you out. Heacock is pronounced Haycock, Clinton Haycock Stadium. And I got that right. Of course, Clinton Haycock was the superintendent back in the day. They named after him. And I guess he was the super while Kay was in school. And she sent me some other pronunciations. I wish I would have seen this. I'm so mad at myself. We truly are Warrior Nation. Just drive around our huge rural district and note all the signs for school board candidates following the school board superintendent, blah, 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 blah. The school district is very important to these folks. It's sort of the heart of their community. You will see hundreds of flags surrounding the field Friday. Yes, they did. There was probably 200 or 300 flags up that night, as they really had a cool night. A lot of activities that night, honoring the war people and heroes and everything like that. Hope you enjoy your West Branch experience. And I doggone it, I'm just seeing this now. But I sent Kay a little note back, and she replied, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Had a great time. Hoping to get over there again this year for a playoff game. We'll see how it goes. West Branch, remember, has a bye this week, so they won't play. They will play next Friday at 7:00 in a second round game. St. Vincent St. Mary, we told you last hour, looking for a new head football coach, Doran Grant, in the school are parting ways. So the Irish are looking for a new high school football coach. I still have not gotten 100% confirmation on the other story that I had earlier today, but there is a team in the Federal League that will be looking for a head football coach. I haven't got 100% confirmation on that yet. As soon as I do, I'll let you know. We'll put it out there, but don't want to release that before it is time. Okay. I've only gotten probably 50 text messages. Who is it? I won't tell anybody. What school? Is it school X? Is it school B? No.
We want to let Buck know that we did get his text about that.
Buck knows.
As Sam is not yet saying it on the air, Buck, we will. We can't read that text yet.
Yeah, Buck knows. Buck's got his ears to the ground, man. I'm impressed. That was good work. That was good work right there. Okay, let's see. Okay, Right from the horse. Okay. This is it doesn't get any more official than this. Okay, I can tell you now. Glen Oak is looking for a new head football coach. Scott Garcia is stepping down and retiring from coaching. He is still looks like he's still gonna be the athletic director, but he is gonna retire from coaching. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, that's what it was. I knew that before, but I didn't want to put that out there. So there you go. Glen Oak is looking for a new head football coach. Now I got a pretty good idea who the new coach is going to be, and he currently is on staff. That's about as far as I can go with that. And this young fellow would be a very good choice to take over the Glen Oak Golden Eagle football program. No doubt about it. All right, we haven't heard from Ross. I hope everything is okay. He'd been battling some stuff, obviously, the last several months, some pretty serious health stuff, and of course he had to, take away from us for a couple of weeks because of some stuff that was going on. But I usually hear from him, the night before or in the morning, and I have not heard anything. So I hope everything is okay with our guy. Ross Benjamin. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little earlier break than normal. I'm going to reach out and see if everything is good with Ross, one way or the other, whether he can come on today or not. Just want to make sure everything's okay.
Absolutely.
And we get back, we'll go back into the 3-question Thursday quiz. Again, Glen Oak looking for new head football coach. Scott Garcia has announced his retirement from coaching. We'll talk some more high school football playoffs when we get back here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
Hello, this is Vondia Schaefer with a Marlington Voter Alert. Vote to re-elect Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan to the Marlington Board of Education. On November 4th, Marlington voters have a choice to continue the good work being done by the current Board of Education. Together, Karen Humphreys, Kathy Krupko, and Mark Ryan have moved Marlington forward. They've made $2.6 million in budget cuts, authorized $6.7 million in district improvements at all buildings. They've hired Superintendent Dan Swisher, adopted new math and reading curriculum to improve our test scores, established a new vocational computer program and culinary program in partnership with Alliance City Schools, and restored community support through unity and team leadership. On November 4th, vote Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan. Humphreys, Krupko, Ryan for Marlington Board of Education. Paid for by Marlington Forward, Julie Hallman, Treasurer.
This Saturday afternoon, the Mount Union Purple Raiders look to run their regular season record to 8-0 as they battle the visiting Capital Comets at 1:30 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Bourquin, joined myself and my partner Ryan Bevere from Cara Stadium on Saturday as the Purple Raiders look to stay perfect in 2025. It's Mount Union taking on Capital. 1:30 kickoff this Saturday afternoon, and all the action is right here on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live at Q92radiosports.com.
Donnie Iris and the Cruisers, Saturday, November 8th at the historic Canton Palace Theater. Donnie Iris and the Cruisers with special guests Beauty and the Beat and drummer Joe Vitale. It's a show you won't want to miss. Join Donnie Iris and the Cruisers for an unforgettable night, November 8th at the Canton Palace Theater.
Tickets on sale now at CantonPalaceTheater.org.
Michael. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Still, I think, one of the greatest Halloween movies ever made. The original Halloween, John Carpenter. course, the great music, the great production, the directing. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. Just fantastic. Every year I watch the original Halloween, sometimes twice. This year we did the original Halloween. We did Halloween 2. We did 4. We did The Resurrection, which is so bad, but we watched it. And then we watched the Halloween that came out like 2007, or was it 17? They did like a reboot of it.
Was that the Rob Zombie one?
No, this was not the Rob Zombie one. This was another one, which I didn't even know existed.
The Rob Zombie one or the other one?
No, the other one.
Okay.
And somehow it's on AMC, and I'm like, oh, this was pretty good. Not bad. And then we watched Halloween Kills. Evil dies tonight. And then we did not watch Halloween Ends this year. We probably take a pass on that one.
You probably did. That was probably the right choice. Yeah.
Now we did go and watch that one at the theater. Holy smokes.
That was not the right choice.
Nope, it wasn't.
Unfortunately.
It wasn't. I'll never forget getting up from Halloween Ends at the theater. We were at Tinseltown. And the moans and the groans from the audience when the credits started running for you to leave the theater.
Yeah, especially at Tinseltown.
You gotta be. I mean, people were so mad. But yeah, that's the chance that you take. All right, we've got about 7 minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Text line open 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Scott Garcia retiring as head football coach, stepping down as the coach at Glen Oak. I believe he will stay on as athletic director. Scott did a great job. He's a good guy, too. Always loved working with him. You send him an email, you send him a text, hey, we're going to come to the game. Can we have this press box? Could you hook us up with this? Could you, basketball? Where do you want to sit? You want to sit mid-floor? You want to be in the corner? You want to be at the scores table? Just a great guy. Great guy. So I miss hanging around Scott G and on the football scene, but hopefully he'll be hanging around as an AD here for a little while longer at least.
Got a couple Facebook comments I could read real quick.
Go for it.
Matthew on Facebook says, I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great Halloween tomorrow. And then he says, go Blue Jays, beat LA.
I like that.
We also have Frank Salona saying, hi, guys. What's up, Frank?
Matthew, if you're still listening, I got to ask, are you DJing at Perry High School tomorrow for Halloween? I have to ask. Hopefully he'll get back to us.
He usually gets back to us pretty quick.
Yeah. Matthew's a good dude. Met Matthew last year when I was doing some substitute work for Perry Local. And he was at the high school. He'd been there for a while. And used to do some work with him. And during lunch, maybe like 2 or 3 times during the school year, he would set up his DJ equipment in the cafeteria. Whether it was for Halloween, I know he did it for Christmas, may have done it for like a big game or a rally or something, and did a nice job. Really, really did a nice job. So didn't know if Matthew was going to be spinning some tunes tomorrow in the Perry cafeteria or not, but if you are, Matthew, I hope you do a good job and have a lot of fun tomorrow. 3-question Thursday quiz. Number 1, should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? Number 2, if you could pick only one fast food place for the rest of your life, where would it be? Where are you going for life? Only place you can go. What's it going to be? Question number 3, your favorite Halloween candy. Keep those comments coming in on Facebook, on X, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Doug says, even if the Browns had traded him, they would have screwed it up like they do everything else. Chick-fil-A, his go-to for the rest of his life. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the number 1 Halloween candy. Nick says, no, I'm glad they held on to Miles. Chick-fil-A, his go-to fast food. Payday, his favorite Halloween candy. James says, yes, he deserves better, and the Eagles are offering a minimum of 3 first-round picks for him. No, I didn't see that. I would make that trade right now. James says, trade Ward as well. He deserves better. Chipotle, his go-to fast food place. Snickers, I got to do some investigating. Are the Eagles really offering 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett? I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm going to have to look that up. We're going to have to get our crack staff on that. Oh, that's just us. Okay. Well,
yeah, I was going to say.
Figure it out. Sam, have your staff look into it. Okay. Michael says, Sam, it's the Browns. Anything upper management does will be a train wreck. Just when they let Baker go. Favorite fast food place is Burger King. My go-to candy for Halloween is Payday. Michael, thank you for checking in. Ron, the legendary Ron Duff from the city of Canton. He says, glad that he says they should have traded Miles. White Castle is his go-to for life. Reese's is his favorite Halloween candy. Officer Frascone, patrolling the mean streets of Jackson Township today, says, nope. Glad they kept Miles. Wendy's his go-to fast food. Peanut butter M&M's is his favorite Halloween candy. One more. Let's go down to Lisa. Lisa B. She says, yep, should have traded Miles. Dairy Queen is her go-to. That's the first one for Dairy Queen today. And her favorite Halloween candy is marshmallow Halloween Peeps. Can't say that I've ever had any of those, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll try those this year.
Real quick, I did find an article on MSN about that. It says, according to Yahoo Sports NFL reporter Charles Robinson, the Eagles are hot on Garrett and may be willing to give up to 3 first-round picks to try and acquire him.
So up to 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round picks.
Charles Robinson's a pretty reliable guy. Oh, come on. You got to make that trade.
Man.
You have to make that trade. You're not going anywhere. Recoup some of the picks that you threw away when you got Deshaun in here. Get out from underneath that. They may take I don't know how that works. I don't know how that contract is going to work with Miles. What kind of a hit the cap is going to be for the Browns, even in a trade? I'm not sure 100% how that works. But if I can get 3, now here's the thing: Philadelphia is going to win a lot of games, so that pick is not going to be very high. Like out of 32, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30. So it's not going to be a very high pick, but 3 first rounds, and you could maybe use one of those for another move to go. Look at it this way. If you would make that trade, and I know we got news coming up, if you could make that trade, you would have 3 first-round picks from Philly, you'd have your own first-round pick, and you'd have Jacksonville's first-round pick. You could get 5 grade A players on the roster right now. Now, do you trust the Browns to pick the right players? I do not. But the opportunity could be there, especially if they maybe, move Andrew Berry out of the building. That is interesting. All right, news and weather coming up. One more big hour to go here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Keep it locked, 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. On day 30 of the government shutdown, Democrats are continuing to push Republicans to extend insurance premium benefits under the Affordable Care Act. Republicans say they'll talk after the government is reopened. Food assistance programs like SNAP now set to run out of funding Saturday. New York mom Tatiana says she's had to search high and low for baby formula.
I reached out to a Facebook group of a Buy Nothing group, and I just simply put like, hey, I'm a low-income mother. I don't know where my child's next can of formula is coming. Can anyone give a sample? And luckily enough, I had a few people who reached out and we were able to get a few cans. So I'm good for at least the next month. Thank God.
Stocks ended lower today despite the one-year trade deal between the U.S. and China following President Trump's meeting with China's leader. In a social media post before those talks, President Trump announced he's directing the military to test nuclear weapons again, saying other countries are testing theirs. This is ABC News.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's Macy's Friends and Family, the best time to kickstart your holiday shopping with big savings on our best brands like DKNY, Hugo Boss, Karl Lagerfeld Paris, and more at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off Valentino, Gucci, and more top beauty brands. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star Money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Going on now, only at Macy's Friends and Family. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Stark County has a new most dangerous intersection. According to the Stark County Area Transportation Study, Route 173 at Paris Avenue Northeast and Marlboro Township moves to the top. It was second in the three-year average last year, marking its first time on the list. Moving from 10th to second was 15th Street Northeast and Walnut Avenue in Canton, followed by Dressler and Everhard Roads Northwest in Jackson Township, and Route 62, Harmont Avenue and Lesh Street Northeast in Canton. Fifth was 13th Street Northwest and I-77 near Mercy Hospital in Canton. There were 22 crashes in the period, with 2 resulting in serious injuries. 60% were caused by failure to yield. The Marlboro Township crossing is one of the least busy on the list, but has a disproportionate number of serious injury crashes. ODOT plans a roundabout for the crossing, but construction is not scheduled until 2029. Food insecurity in the Alliance area is expected to grow as SNAP benefits could be suspended Saturday amid a federal government shutdown. Local ministries and food pantries are bracing for a surge in need. Tanya Dean with Harvesting Hope in Your Community tells the repository her organization is already struggling to keep up with costs and volunteer hours. The Alliance Community Pantry and Clothed in Righteousness ministries also expect to see more people seeking help. Officials say public support and donations are critical to keep food and services available throughout the crisis. Alliance police say a man turned a cooperation deal into a crime. 39-year-old Victor Harrington of Alliance was supposed to help detectives with a controlled meth buy Tuesday, took their $20 in buy money and an $8,000 recording device and ran away. Officers found him 2 hours later at the Sarda bus station on East Prospect Street with snacks, a new bus ticket, and only a few dollars left. Earlier that day, police say Harrington admitted to having glass pipes for meth and tobacco at a home on North Webb Avenue. He's now charged with grand theft, tampering with evidence, and obstructing official business. Harrington's bond is set at $50,000 with a hearing November 7th. The Alliance Street Department will begin its annual leaf pickup program November 3rd. Crews will use the first week to test equipment and train new workers, so the official collection won't start until the following week. Residents are reminded not to rake leaves into the street as it's a road hazard and can result in a citation. Leaves should be placed on the curb lawn only and without trash, sticks, or yard waste. City crews will make one pass through each section with a second round only if weather allows. A Mahoning County grand jury will review the case of a Sebring man accused of attempted murder. 52-year-old Jose Centron waived his preliminary hearing in court today, sending the case to the grand jury. Police say Centron pulled a gun during an argument at the Oregon Pub on East Oregon Avenue, October 12th. He allegedly fired at another man, but instead hit a woman in the shoulder. Centron ran from the scene, but was arrested later that day. New details have emerged in the investigation into 4 dead horses found at Pure Gold Horse Stables in Salem Township. A supplemental report from the Columbiana County Sheriff's Office says a woman leasing the property discovered the skeletal remains Sunday and believes the animals were locked inside and starved. Deputies and the Humane Society say several other horses on the property appeared to be in poor condition. The owner claims the horses may have been poisoned by a former employee. The Humane Society says it shares the community's outrage and is asking for patience as the investigation continues. The upcoming trial for accused killer William Long has been pushed back as a new judge steps in to handle a key evidence issue. Retired Cuyahoga County Judge William McGinty was assigned after visiting Judge Edward O'Farrell recused himself from hearing the defense motion to suppress evidence. The 51-year-old Long, who's accused of shooting his ex-wife Michelle Long to death outside her Butler Township home in November 2023, will now face trial February 3rd in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. Defense attorneys plan to file another motion challenging expert testimony, prompting Judge Megan Bickerton to postpone the original November 18th trial date. 2 deadly incidents in Youngstown have now led to indictments. A Mahoning County grand jury charged 42-year-old Laird Bruner with aggravated vehicular homicide and leaving the scene after police say he struck and killed Joseph Novicic while he was walking on Loveland Road September 29th. He is free on $500,000 bond. In a separate case, 22-year-old Deviana Taylor was indicted for murder, felonious assault, and domestic violence in the shooting death of 22-year-old Alicia Brown at their Terrell Avenue apartment September 6th. Both defendants are expected to be arraigned in Common Pleas Court. Youngstown police say a traffic stop turned into a chase and arrest Tuesday afternoon. Officers tried to pull over 27-year-old Jaquan Talley near Market Street and West Hilda Avenue for an illegal turn, but he drove off using the turning lane to pass traffic before stopping on Hillman Street. When police searched his car, they reportedly found a semi-automatic rifle and a pistol on the back floor. Talley initially denied having any guns, then refused to give his name. He was taken into custody and booked at the Mahoning County Jail on charges including failure to comply and improper handling of firearms. Talley was arraigned Wednesday in Youngstown Municipal Court. Mercy Health and several employees are asking a federal judge to dismiss a civil rights lawsuit filed by Brittany Watts, the Warren woman charged after suffering a miscarriage last year. The motion argues that even if Watts' claims are true, the law doesn't support her case against the hospital or staff. Watts alleges St. Joseph Hospital workers violated her privacy and helped initiate a criminal investigation after her miscarriage. A Trumbull County grand jury later declined to indict her. Judge Sarah Leoy will decide whether the claims move forward or are dismissed. United Auto Workers President Sean Fain will hold a live virtual town hall Wednesday, just as General Motors plans hundreds of job cuts at its electric vehicle battery plants. The online event will be held on the union's social media pages. The announcement came a day before GM and Ultium Cells confirmed 550 job cuts and 850 temporary layoffs at the Lordstown battery plant, along with reductions in Detroit and Spring Hill, Tennessee. Fain is expected to address plant closures and the union's efforts to protect jobs as the industry shifts to electric vehicles. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is setting aside $25 million to help families who could be affected by a loss of SNAP benefits if the federal government shuts down. Under an executive order, the state will send $7 million to food banks and up to $18 million in emergency relief to more than 63,000 Ohioans, mostly children, living below half the federal poverty level. Those families will see their Ohio Works First benefits temporarily doubled starting November 7th. DeWine says the plan is a short-term fix until federal funding is restored. An emergency response unfolded Wednesday at the Capitol Health Meadows Nursing Home of Cadiz following reports of a gas leak. The initial calls came in around 10:30 in the morning, citing a strong smell of gas and some residents experiencing symptoms. Mark Machetta, chief of the Hopedale Fire Department, says buses that were capable of wheelchairs transported all 60 residents to the Stevenson Center on Market Street. Columbia gas inspectors were not able to find a leak. Despite the all clear, first responders continue to receive calls about the smell, leading to the evacuation of nearby businesses on East Market Street. Officials are still investigating the cause. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 47,522, down 110 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 377 points lower at 23,581, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,822, down 68 points. We have the following funeral announcements. The service for 86-year-old Larry Jeffers will be held Saturday at 2 at Scherer Sterling Skivalaki Funeral Home. And the service for 70-year-old Randolph Potts of Alliance will be held Saturday at 1 at Cornerstone Christian Church, arrangements by Scherer Sterling Skivalaki. It's 47 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for rain this afternoon with windy conditions, a high near 49. Tonight, rain continuing, a low near 39 with wind gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Friday, a chance of rain, otherwise partly sunny, a high near 52, continued breezy. Saturday, slight chance of rain in the afternoon, mostly sunny, otherwise a high near 53. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Of course, everything there chopped out fastball. Curveball he can throw for a strike, change up that he wants to swing and a miss. Here he comes for going game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field. Call to the track. It's down on the first pitch of game 5. Junior hooks the ball down the left field line. They've got back to start game 5. 1-2 to Freeman. There's a dozen for Trey Savage. And the Blue Jays are headed home, one win from the championship.
Slammed out. And away come the Jackets with some numbers here. Odd man rush. Werenski shoots. He scores! Zach Werenski!
No fouls to give from Minnesota. Into the hands of Reeves. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Reeves splits the defense. The floater in the paint. It's good! At the buzzer! Austin Reeves does it again!
Hey, big night in baseball last night. A little buzzer beater for the Lakers. No LeBron, no Luka, no problem. Austin Reeves to the rescue. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. Cavaliers stinker. Last night in Boston, they fall 125-105. World Series. If you're a Blue Jay fan, it was good, right? 6-1. Toronto over the Dodgers last night in L.A. Travel day today for the Jays and the Dodgers, and they'll play Game 6 tomorrow night in Toronto. Blue Jays in Los Angeles at 8:08 p.m. tomorrow. Yamamoto and Gausman, the pitching matchup tonight at the Rogers Center. You think that place will be noisy tomorrow night for Game 6, the first chance in 32 years for the Blue Jays to win a World Series? Whew. How cool the last 3 nights that the Blue Jays and Dodgers have played in L.A., they've had watch parties at the Rogers Center. 40,000 people each night showed up to watch the World Series on the big scoreboard. 40,000 people each night just to show up, just to be together and to watch the Blue Jays. You know how the Cavs did the watch parties? You know, when they would be, in Boston, in Golden State, whatever, and you get 20,000 people to come to Rocket Arena to watch the game on the big Jumbotron. That's what they did in Toronto the last 3 nights. 120,000 people. That's pretty awesome. I've never gone to a watch party. Like, I that's something that I want to do at some point. Like, I've been to sports bars and gone to friends' houses. I've been to the home playoff games. But I've never, like, if the Indians or Guardians were away, or the Cavs were away, I've never like gone to the Rocket Arena or to watch it. I'm going to do that someday. I think that would be fun to just, as long as the weather was, of course, Toronto, you just close the roof if it gets bad. But I think that would be kind of cool to do that. That would be fun. All right, Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. We've got, today's just flying by again. We got about 45 minutes left to spend with each other before we wrap it up. Don't forget, our 3-question Thursday quiz continues. Question number 1, should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett back when they had the chance? Question number 2, you can pick one fast food place for the rest of your life. Only one. Which one would it be? And question number 3, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Text those in, 330-924-7088. You can also drop your comments in our comment section on 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our Twitter page, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. If you missed it, Scott Garcia is retiring as the head football coach of the Glen Oak Golden Eagles. Had a couple trips around the sun with Glen Oak. And Scott's a good dude, man. First class all the way. I know he did not have the success that he wanted, especially the second time around. But he's a football coach. He is old school. He is hard-nosed, and I think he's a really good football coach. And maybe just time to move on to the next chapter in life. Sent out a little press release here I can read. Well, I'll just tell Rainsburg, go ahead, throw that graphic up there.
You know it.
I know it's. Oh, look how much better I can read this. Says, I will be retiring as head football coach at Glen Oak High School. I've been honored to lead the Glen Oak program for the past 17 years and look forward to many new challenges and adventures in the future. My first tenure was much more successful than the last, but I believe our kids fought and learned as many lessons as, let's see, I lost my place. Unbelievable. My first tenure was much more successful. I believe our kids fought and learned as many lessons as all of our best teams did. It takes complete alignment from everyone in order to be successful, and my wish is for everyone to get back to the same page and move the program back to where we had it not long ago. I had the opportunity to work with many coaches, student athletes, administrators, board members, and parents. I thank them all for their endless commitment and support through the years. I am proud of the things we were able to accomplish along the way, from many big wins to the addition of several athletic facility upgrades, and the kids in Plain Local will be able to use for decades to come. I'm always here for any of our players and look forward to seeing all the success they have in life. Lastly, I want to thank my wife, Crystal, for her unwavering support and countless hours of sacrifice on our family over the last 35 years. Thank you, Coach G. Good job, Coach Garcia. Congratulations on your retirement from coaching. Good stuff. 11 times in the playoffs, 4 Federal League championships, 4 times runner-up. 2008, Glen Oak's only regional appearance. How about this? A lot of people don't realize this. Glen Oak beat Maslin and McKinley in the same season 3 different times. 17 years team earned all academic, all Ohio honors. Did a great job with the Golden Eagle Athletic Association. Raised over $2 million to build a stadium, 2 turf fields, restrooms, concession stands, locker rooms, etc. Big renovation with the new gym. Very cool. Congratulations, Coach Scott. Nice job. And a continued success. And whatever that next chapter is, maybe he'll be the new coach of the Browns. He is a huge Browns fan, by the way. Huge. Get him up there on staff. Get those guys working hard. They need it. They need somebody old school like Coach Garcia up there to get them turned around. Let's see here. Rainsburg, did Alliance move their trick or treat to tonight?
I saw something about them moving it, but I wasn't sure which night it went to. I knew it wasn't Friday night because of the game.
Yeah. I thought. Yeah, you're right. I think they are I think Alliance is trick or treating tonight. A little Little ghouls and goblins. Be careful out there in the rain. Boy, what a miserable night to go trick-or-treating. Mother Nature just, wow. No consideration whatsoever by Mother Nature today. So if you're out there, stay warm and try to stay as dry as you can as you go around and get that candy.
Oh, I'm seeing that Trick or Treat was actually last night from 5 to 7.
Last night?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought they moved it from Friday to Thursday.
They moved it
because of football.
Yeah,
they moved it so it's all right. Well, then I guess they already got their candy.
That explains why I saw some kids walking around last night with costumes on.
Oh, so you saw that?
Yeah.
Okay,
but you never know. I didn't
that.
see a lot of kids. I saw like 2 or 3, so I figured I'd look it up and be sure. I don't want to be dumb sounding.
Wow. Okay. Well, good. So they had a much better night last night, weather-wise, than
probably
tonight. Holy smokes.
I know when I was a kid, that wouldn't have stopped me.
Yeah, me neither.
A little bit of rain, nah.
Me neither. I would have been out there. I would have been out there no matter what.
Got to go get those full-size candy bars.
Sam, when I was a kid, a child of the late 50s, early 60s, when we tricked or treated, we only got full-size candy bars. Fun size weren't even invented yet. Some folks passed out homemade chocolate chip cookies and caramel apples. Some gave out little bags filled with bubble gum. And we even got candy cigarettes. Along with little wax. You were talking about these little wax bottles with flavored syrup inside.
Yeah.
You were talking about those.
I loved those things when I was a kid. My mom always yelled at me for chewing on them for too long.
I was always very curious to know, because there was a time when parents would freak out about trick or treat when their kids brought the candy home.
You mean my childhood?
And I think mine too. They were checking apples and stuff for razor blades and think, did people really stick razor blades and lace apples and stuff with substances that they shouldn't have?
I'm pretty sure that's...
I mean, I guess it happened.
Maybe once or twice.
I don't know why anybody would be so dumb to do something like that. But don't eat your apples. There could be a razor blade in there. There could be something in there. Let me check the bag.
Don't eat anything that isn't prepackaged and sealed.
Right. And your parents would dump your candy all over the floor or the table. They'd look through it one by one and check for shenanigans. But yeah, I always wondered about that whole thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So trick or treat. Okay, so because trick or treat in our area is Friday, and it's 6 until 8, and I'm gonna miss it this year. I love being home for trick or treat. Love it. I just love the whole vibe. People walking around the neighborhood, checking out all the decorations, getting their candy, looking at the costumes. It's just really cool. And I'm gonna miss it this year, because it's on a Friday. But next year I'll be able to be around the old house, because it'll be on a Saturday. Ran across this today. UCLA football. They're thinking about moving out of the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and apparently I'm seeing they want to go play their home games at SoFi Stadium. This according to the LA Times. Now, here's the thing. UCLA's lease doesn't run out until June 30th of 2044. Pasadena officials say the taxpayers have invested more than $150 million in stadium renovations, while recently refinancing another $130 million in bonds for additional capital improvements. Included in the filing is a letter from UCLA outside counsel that says the school has had preliminary discussions about changing stadiums. Now, UCLA has played in the Rose Bowl since 1982. And remember, before that, they shared the LA Coliseum with USC. Now, Southern Cal still plays their games there, but UCLA moved to Pasadena to play their home games in 1982. What is this, 2025? You got 20 years left on your lease. I mean, does this really even need to be a discussion? And why would you want to move out of the Rose Bowl? That is beautiful. Now, here's what people have been complaining about. The Rose Bowl is actually 26 miles away from the UCLA campus in Westwood. And that's why they're saying, well, people don't come to the games, the students don't. No, they don't show up because you stink. That's why nobody comes to watch you. You stink. If you were good, that place would be packed. Trust me, this is only coming up because that football program is in ruins right now. Ruins. I mean, I think they tarp off like 30,000 seats at the Rose Bowl. So they try to make it look a little bit more, intimate. I think the place still holds like 90,000. They tarp off like 30,000 seats in the end zones. But they're so bad. Now, recently they've had they won 3 in a row after they changed coaches. But then they went to Indiana last Saturday and got their lunch handed to them. It was like 56-6. Don't go to SoFi. Don't go play in that. Don't go play there. That's such a cookie cutter, over modernized, over amenitized place to play football. Don't go there. It's bad enough to watch Chargers and Rams games in that building. I don't want UCLA to go there and play. That would be a huge mistake. But that's me. I get it. 26-mile trip from campus to see your team play a home game. But you know what? But they've been doing it for decades. It's never been a problem. But now that they can't win, nobody wants to go. And they've just kind of like thumbed their nose at the football program, which is not good because, they just came into the Big Ten a couple years ago along with USC and Oregon and Washington. And I've seen some games out there at the Rose Bowl this year. I mean, there was literally nobody there. Crowds have been like in the 20s, 20,000. Penn State game, they drew like 44. Half of them were Penn State fans. All right, here we go. On this day in sports history, on this day in 1919, the Professional Baseball Association ruled that spitballs were illegal. Well, I'm sure glad they took care of that. 1992, Irvin Magic Johnson played his last game in the NBA before retiring for a second time. On this day, 2001, in New York City, U.S. President George W. Bush threw out the first pitch at Game 3 of the World Series between the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. On this day in 2001, Michael Jordan returned to the NBA with the Washington Wizards after a 3.5-year retirement. The Wizards lost that night 93-91 to the New York Knicks. And one of the great moments in sports history, let's turn back the clock to 1974. In Zaire, Muhammad Ali regained his heavyweight boxing championship by knocking out George Foreman in the 8th round.
And he worked over the shoulder of Foreman. That's it. The fight is stopped. Muhammad Ali, a dramatic 8th-round knockout. He knocks out.
1974, the 8th round, Muhammad Ali knocked out George Foreman. The crowd was so loud you could barely hear the announcers on the call. That was wild. News and weather coming up next, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. It's been 30 days since the government shutdown began, and lawmakers are no closer to negotiating a bill that would reopen and fund government programs and services. Federal workers are working without pay, and funding for food assistance programs is set to run out this weekend. At the White House, Vice President J.D. Vance says air traffic controllers are also feeling the financial strain.
I think that as much as delays have gotten worse over the last couple of weeks, everybody here is very worried that we're going to see more delays, more stresses on the people who are actually making the aviation system run.
Democrats say they want to have conversations about extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that, if allowed to expire, could raise premiums for tens of millions of Americans. Republicans say they won't have a discussion until the government is reopened. President Trump has appeared to suggest on social media that the U.S. resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 3 decades. There was no indication that the U.S. would start detonating warheads, but Trump offered few details about what seemed to be a significant shift in U.S. policy. He made the announcement on social media minutes after meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping today in South Korea. The U.S. military already regularly tests its missiles that are capable of delivering a warhead, but it has not detonated the weapons since 1992 because of a test ban. The U.S. military is sending a team to Jamaica to assess damage from Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall there as a Category 5 storm. 490,000 customers are without power. Desmond McKenzie, Jamaica's Minister of Local Government and Community Development, says about 13,000 are still in shelters across the island.
So the shelters will remain in operation, especially in the parishes that have been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the United States is ready to help the Cuban people recover from devastation wrought by Melissa, despite long-standing hostility between Washington and Havana. Israel's military says Palestinian militants have handed over 2 sets of remains of hostages to the Red Cross in Gaza. This follows the return of 15 hostages remains since the ceasefire began, with 13 more to be recovered. The handover indicates progress in the fragile ceasefire agreement, despite Israeli strikes on Gaza overnight. Officials in southern Gaza report at least 40 people injured in the strikes. The Israeli army confirms that targeted terrorist infrastructure in Khan Yunis. The ceasefire, which began October 10th, aims to end the conflict between Israel and Hamas. It's 47 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Rain and breezy conditions in the forecast for this afternoon with a high near 49 degrees. Tonight, rain continuing, still breezy with gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Friday, a 30% chance of rain, otherwise partly sunny, a high 52. For Saturday, slight chance of rain in the afternoon, mostly sunny, otherwise a high near 53, chance of rain 20%. That's your WDPN weather.
This Friday night at Cara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union, OHSAA high school football. It's the Alliance Aviators taking on Geneva. Pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7. You can join myself, Sam Bourquin, along with Caleb Norick for all the action here on AM 1310 WDPN as a pair of 8-2 teams go at it in the first round of the playoffs. Pregame at 6:30, the kick at 7. It's Alliance, it's Geneva for the right to move on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming at Q92radiosports.com.
This Sunday, Lon Chaney's legendary Phantom of the Opera returns. Sunday, November 2nd at 3 p.m. at the Canton Palace Theater. Experience the original 1925 film with a live 16-piece orchestra and the majestic Kilgan organ. Tickets are just $18. Buy your tickets now at CantonPalaceTheater.org.
Is your foot or ankle pain slowing you down? At Alliance and Salem Foot and Ankle Clinics, we believe every step should feel good. From heel pain and ingrown toenails to diabetic foot care and custom orthotics, our expert podiatrist is here to keep you moving comfortably. Located right here in Alliance and also a clinic in Salem, we believe in treating every patient like family. Take the first step toward your foot care. Call 330-821-6438 or visit alliancefootанdankle.com to schedule your appointment today.
AM1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Getting you in the Halloween spirit, the Halloween mood. Halloween officially tomorrow. Although a lot of trick-or-treating was done last weekend. Alliance, it was last night. Now, our neighborhood, our area is going to have it on Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. There'll be a lot of haunted houses being visited the next 4 or 5 days. A lot of Halloween parties going on. A lot of the Spirit Halloween stores will be on crazy watch for the next couple of days. Everybody going in and getting their last-minute stuff. And then we always go in there about 3 or 4 times. And we go to all the area stores. There's like 2 or 3 in the area. Yeah, we usually go like the day after Halloween and the day after that. Usually stuff is like 60, 70% off. Sometimes we find some pretty good stuff. But, yeah, I always get sort of sad when Halloween comes to an end. I've always enjoyed that as a holiday. Love it. Still do. Cavs say that center Jared Allen suffered a non-displaced fracture in his distal phalanx last night in Boston. What I don't know what a distal phalanx is.
I'm pretty sure.
Is that a finger?
That's a hand injury.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I could pretty confidently say that.
Dr. Rainsberg, calling Dr. Rainsberg. Allen will undergo a series of treatment and evaluation. He will be listed as questionable for Friday's game against Toronto. Okay. Maybe that's why he's not getting any rebounds. I don't know. Jared, get well. Need you out there, man. Need you out there playing hard, grabbing rebounds and doing things in the paint. Cavaliers off to a 3-2 start at that loss to Boston last night, 125-105. We were able to get some audio from last night's press conference with Kenny Atkinson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And let's check in with Kenny after that 20-point loss by the Wine and Gold on the road last night in Beantown.
What did you think the biggest issue was? I'm curious.
I will answer after you because I don't want to sway you.
Possession game, right? Rebounding, absolutely dominated us on the boards. Even in the second half, we didn't fix it. It was a little better, but they I don't know what they were in the possession game. Plus 12. I know at halftime they were plus 12. You know, when teams getting 12 more possessions than you, especially they're making their threes. That's tough. And then I thought in the second half we fought. We were cut it to 9, I think, and but I think we were 4 for 28 from 3 in the second half. So I felt like we got it to 9 and had some good looks, and they didn't go down. So, but they dominated us from a physical standpoint.
So, situation like that, like it happened. Can you change like a crashing strategy mid-game? Like you crash with the third guy mid-game, or is that something that you can do aggressively?
You're saying how could we have mitigated their crashing?
No, I'm actually more thinking on the, like you guys had 2 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Too. So like if you're not stopping them, is it possible?
Yeah, no, I think our offensive rebounding percent was like in the 83rd percent. We did start to go to the board. I mean, that's our that's in our DNA. And that when you really add all that up, those are energy things. They're physicality things. Are you willing to because you have to expend energy to do that. And we for some reason tonight we weren't. Our energy level was super low, and that kind of in every phase. And their energy level was through the roof. And every 50-50 ball, like 2 guys jumping, they got it. Rebound 50-50, they got it. And then obviously the way they shot the ball, they shot way over their head, but when they're getting extra possessions, just makes it really hard.
Hey, Kenny.
Chris.
I've had the hiccups all game. What did you see from the offense beyond the first quarter?
Listen, how should I say it politely? It's a work in progress. We're average to sub-average. Again, we're not moving that thing around like we should, and we got to get back to our identity a little. Shot quality wasn't great, but it's really kind of the product of how we're playing. Too much dribble, and then we're not offensive rebounding. So, which is part of a good offense. So, we knew there was going to be bumps, with the group, and then you throw tonight out. Sam's not out there now. You got a different look. You're playing, obviously with kind of different spacing out there. He gives us great gravity. But I thought in the second half we got some really good looks from 3, 4 for 28. Tough to come back. I thought we battled, got it to 9, like I said. And part of that was the offensive rebounding. We battled there. But we never slowed them down. Their rebounding down, never slowed them down. And that was a big difference.
So you guys have played 5 games so far this year, and I think in 4 of them now you have talked about the rebounding. Where's your concern level with what you're seeing in terms of rebounding, and how fixable do you think it is?
It's fixable. I mean, we can do it when we lock in. We can do it. We're kind of waiting. We're not being assertive. We're just kind of waiting for the game, for the rebound to happen. We're not being proactive, and that's fixable. That's a focus and a mentality, we just gotta. We can do it. We've done it. We've proven we can do it. So we just gotta lock back in.
We talked before the game about Donovan popping up on the injury report with the hamstring issue. Did you sense him laboring throughout?
No. He was fine. Told me he was fine. Felt great in warm up. So, so nothing there.
Can you talk about, you mentioned energy a few times here. It appears part of it, like you say, waiting, is part of it's mental.
Of course.
And is that, after the year you had last year, the great regular season, is that one of the big challenges for you guys this year to kind of, gather it up and let's go do it again?
I mean, I don't think that's kind of an excuse, and I know you're not making that, but I do think we're hungry. We're a focus group. I think tonight, just wasn't a great. It was one of those nights in the NBA where you just weren't great. It kind of outplayed us at every position. We lost a coaching battle, so it happens. So we'll bounce back. We got a good group. We got great leadership. For some reason, we didn't have the requisite juice tonight. Sometimes as a coach, you got to go look at the film.
There's Coach Kenny Atkinson, some of his presser after the loss to the Celtics last night. Gads, 125 to 105. The Cavs just kind of sleptwalked through that one last night. Now, they came out on fire in the first quarter. They scored 42, but the only problem is they gave up 40. And then the Celtics smoked them in the second quarter. They outscored them 35-18, and then Boston really never looked back. Cavs last night from the floor, 35 of 87. They were 18 of 24 at the free throw line. Celtics were 42 of 95 from the floor. Celtics out-rebounded the Cavs 61-54. They got 7 more offensive rebounds. They had more assists. They had more steals. The Cavs had more turnovers. Celtics had more points in the paint. You kind of get the idea here. And it all added up to a 20-point win for the Celtics, 125-105. Raptors in town Friday, and the Hawks come to town Sunday at Rocket Arena. Tonight, as far as sports goes, you've got NFL football. You've got the Ravens at the Dolphins. Right now, Baltimore is -7.5. The total is 51.5. That's on Amazon Prime tonight, of course, at 8:15. College football, not a real good slate here. Just Marshall at Coastal Carolina, Tulane at University of Texas, San Antonio. Only the degenerates will be watching those games tonight. On the NBA hardwood, you got Orlando, Charlotte, Golden State at the Bucks. That should be good. Bucks are catching 2.5 at home tonight. That might be something you want to do there. Wizards at the Thunder, and the Spurs are hosting the Heat. NHL tonight. Penguins in action. Yes, they will be at Minnesota against the Minnesota Wild. The Blue Jackets are off. They won last night. Remember, no World Series tonight. They'll be back in Toronto tomorrow at 8 o'clock. The Blue Jays and the Dodgers. It'll be Kevin Gausman against Yamamoto for the Dodgers. Blue Jays lead that series 3-2. They win tomorrow. They could get their first World Series championship in 32 years. Whew. Been a long time coming for the Blue Jays. Now, we haven't won one since 1948, so there's that. But I'd love to see the Blue Jays. Love to see them get one. Be happy for Mark Shapiro and his staff and a lot of the former Cleveland players. I think that'd be a good story. And if you're the Dodgers, man, your payroll is all $400 million or in that vicinity. Now, I know it's hard to repeat. Dodgers won the whole thing last year, but when you've got a payroll like that and you have the star power like that, you're expected to win it again. I know the target on your back is big. I mean, they've accepted the challenge, obviously, but that's I'm sure there will be a lot of disappointed Dodger fans if they don't win the Fall Classic again this year. 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, should the Browns have traded Myles Garrett when they had the chance? What do you think? Question number 2, if you could pick only one fast food place for the rest of your life, which one would it be? And question number 3, what is your favorite Halloween candy? That's our 3-question quiz. Get those comments in on our social media platforms. Of course, you can text in 330-924-7088. And you can also send your comments in the comment section on the Q92 radio page on YouTube and the 1310 WDPN page on Twitter and on Facebook as well. Mike says, glad they kept Myles. His fast food place for life, Steak and Shake. Take 5 is his favorite Halloween candy.
Mark on YouTube said, yes, they should have traded Garrett. Chick-fil-A is his favorite fast food, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are his favorite Halloween candy.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Or like 10 of them.
I think I grew out of them.
You can't just eat one. Oh, yeah? You grew out of them?
Yeah, I used to love them as a kid. They were hands down my favorite. Now I kind of hate them.
Hate them?
Yeah, I don't like them anymore.
Oh.
I know, right? Oh. It blows my mind to this day.
Wow. That's pretty strong words right there. John says, yes, they should have traded Myles. Culver's is his go-to fast food plate. Good call, John. And the Symphony Bar is his favorite Halloween candy.
Gunny
Culver's
Highway
is so underrated.
I haven't had Culver's.
I don't go often because like there's only one around here.
Yeah.
And it's out of Belton, which, about 10 minutes from our house. I don't know. I need to go there more. I really do. The last time we went to Culver's was I think it was like last spring. I think it was January, February, March. Yeah, it was last March or April. Just on a whim, we just pulled in. And gotta make it. I gotta get back there. Ron says no, but trade Miles now. I would if I could. I would. Wendy's his go-to fast food place for life. The Marathon Bar, his favorite Halloween candy. I love the Marathon bars. Those were.
I forgot about that.
Oh my God, those were so good. Those were so good. Chad says Browns should have kept Miles. Glad they did. Chipotle, his go-to fast food. Laffy Taffy is his favorite Halloween candy.
Jim on Facebook for the first question said, can you trade the Browns for the Eagles?
Yes, please, but on one condition. You bring Philadelphia's ownership and management group too.
Yes.
And the players.
Sam and I thoroughly agreed on that during the break.
Look, what am I going to do with great players in a horse bleep owner and a horse bleep management team? What am I going to do with that?
He also said his fast food place would be Barberton Chicken. And unfortunately, his favorite Halloween candy is candy corn.
Candy corn. Oh, no.
Sorry,
that's
Jim.
like 3 candy corns we've
I
got
know.
today.
That's 3 too many.
Wow. Thomas says, yes, they should have traded Garrett. They would have gotten a lot in return. Swenson's is his go-to fast food place. Oh, yeah. Snickers, his favorite Halloween candy. Tom checks in. Sam, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mess with the defense or trade one of the best players in team history. Also, the media and the fan base would have eaten them alive if they traded Garrett. Not me. I would have stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Wendy's by default. Fast food has really gone downhill over the years. Yes, I would agree. Favorite Halloween candy, Tom says, way too many to mention. All right, let's just cut right to it here. Myles Garrett. I guess he is one of the best players we've had in history. There's just something about Myles. I can't put my finger on it. I'm just not infatuated with Myles Garrett. And I don't know what it is. If it's sometimes it's the attitude, it's the passive aggressive social media stuff, it's the I just want to get sacks and I don't care about anything else. I don't step up in big moments. I show up in a Halloween costume every year, and even though we're 9-10 games under 500, and I just want people to look at me. I don't know. I'm sure Myles is a nice guy. Look, they haven't won with him. And somebody said, well, they haven't won anything without him before him either. Yeah, I get that. But when a guy comes to me and says, you know what? I don't want to play here anymore. I'm asking for a trade. I want out of Cleveland. Make it happen. Then I kind of lose a lot of, the luster kind of comes off for me a little bit. But then at the end of the day, it was all a play for more cash. And of course, the Haslams gave in, kowtowed to Myles Garrett, and gave him a humongous contract. At the time, he was the highest paid defensive player in football. Well, not anymore, because Aiden Hutchinson from the Lions is now the highest paid. But there's just something about Myles Garrett has just always rubbed me the wrong way. And it's not just this year, and it wasn't the last 2 years. I can't explain what it is. The guy is an absolute specimen. I've watched him at Texas A&M. I was through the moon when we drafted him. There's just something about him. And I would have traded him when he requested it. have moved him immediately. And if I could, I'd trade him now. Hearing some of this stuff coming out of Philly where they may offer up to 3 first-round picks for Garrett. Man, I would be on the phone right now. I would. Probably an unpopular take, but I'm sticking with that. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we will wrap things up here on the Sam Bourquin Show on a rainy Thursday in the Carnation City. 1310 WDPN.
This is Marlington School Board member Jonathan Swift. I urge you to vote Humphreys Krupko Ryan for Marlington Board of Education. You have been repeatedly lied to by their opponents about taxes and the deficit. Thanks to Karen Humphreys, Kathy Krupko, and Mark Ryan, Marlington now has the lowest effective tax millage rate of any school in Starr County. Marlington will end the fiscal year 2026 with a budget surplus of $349,000, and Marlington has cut $2.6 million from the budget. Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan pledged no new taxes. On November 4th, Marlington voters have a choice to keep moving Marlington forward. Their opponents will do or say anything to get elected. Say no to their divisive tactics. Vote Humphreys, Krupko, and Ryan. On November 4th, vote Humphreys, Krupko, Ryan for Marlington Board of Education. Paid for by Marlington Forward.
This Saturday afternoon, the Mount Union Purple Raiders look to run their regular season record to 8-0 as they battle the visiting Capital Comets at 1:30 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Bourquin, joined myself and my partner Ryan Bevere from Cara Stadium on Saturday as the Purple Raiders look to stay perfect in 2025. It's Mount Union taking on Capital. 1:30 kickoff this Saturday afternoon, and all the action is right here on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live at Q92radiosports.com.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
All right, you hear Phil in the background. It is time to say goodbye. Boy, quick moving show today. Want to thank Geoff Dartt, head coach at the University of Mount Union, for joining us today. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg. Great job, as always, on the other side of the board. Thanks to all of you for participating in the show today. We always love when you do that. In the meantime, check us out on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We'll be there. Check us out. Hit the subscribe button. Interact with us. We love when you do that. All right, we'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3. We'll be at Cara Stadium tomorrow. My home away from home, 3 o'clock. Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP Safety. Then we'll get your football tomorrow night. Alliance takes on Geneva in round 1 of the playoffs. Until then, go Guards, go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.